We are ready.
Okay, we'll open the meeting of March 15th, 2012, time being 4:30. Let the records be shown that Catherine is not present, although she will be here, I understand. First on our agenda is Chuck Mitchell, and we will go over the assignment of the warrant articles. Who will do what articles? So, congratulations. Oh, not yet, that's right, it's true, it's being contested, sorry. So, are we going to go in order, or are we starting in order of the Article 5, or did you decide to change the,
No.
what your...
What we'll do is that after the voting, it appears that the voting has been completed. Five, go into some of those things that you wanted to handle.
Okay,
And I want to get a list just so I know exactly what they are.
okay. Okay. So Article 5, I can motion that to the floor.
That's the bond.
That's the bond, yep.
Yeah, okay, so you're going to do that one?
No, it's just a cleanup article. It's,
Yeah.
there's nothing to talk on. It's just, we're just going to
Yeah, but the maker of the motion does get up to 5 minutes, so you'll want to just explain what it is briefly.
well, the maker of the motion will have less than 5 minutes. So I'll just say, it's a cleanup article. We put it in last year. We didn't have enough time for 5 year to take it off the books. It's only granting us the ability to bond,
Right,
the authorization,
and we never used it.
and we never used it, so. Okay, Article 6, intergovernment.
Article 40, no?
Well, 4 is on the deck.
Oh, that's right, it's 4, starting with 4. Who wants to do the Article 4? Article 4,
There's one in every crowd, isn't there?
I'll do 4.
okay.
All right, Sandy's doing 4. Can everybody hear me?
Sandy, I'll give you a little write-up,
Okay.
a short.
Okay.
We're assuming Jerry's going to second them.
I would assume...
If he's there, he'll be on it.
I think we should,
Town meeting, if he decided not to come.
I should think that we should elect him the official seconder of all motions.
The Article 6, I feel certain that it should be Joe.
I have a pretty good grasp on it,
Yes.
and I've been working with Joyce. It's fairly self-explanatory. I have a very short thing that goes in there about how much money we've saved by being a part of this, and how even if we don't approve it, our responsibility for the tank does not go away, just the mechanism for funding it. So,
Presentation.
a short presentation. And I can answer questions,
Okay, thank you.
because I assume that there will be some question, discussion when they get going.
Okay, Article 7 will be Catherine. Article 8, I will make a motion to postpone indefinitely.
Does that put this away
Yes.
unless somebody were to mysteriously bring it up?
No, you can't. Like, it's on the moderator's rules. This is a motion to postpone something indefinitely. It is debatable, requires a 2/3 vote, but it will kill it. Can't bring it back.
So if it loses, then it stays on the table.
Yep. And we vote, and there you go.
I will do the same for Article 9 if it's okay.
Can we introduce them both at the same time if we're treating them?
I don't think so.
No, let's just take them one at a time and
Okay.
try to get them. So,
Okay.
I mean, once it's explained.
But it's two different entities, I mean, there's two different reasons why you're doing it as well, too,
Are
so.
you just going to read off the number 12 for the minutes, and that's it?
I don't think we're going to read them.
One should move, postpone indefinitely.
No, that would be Chuck that would do that. I would make a motion at that time to postpone indefinitely, and then Chuck would explain the motion.
Postpone indefinitely.
And then
Article
Chuck.
number 8.
Right. And I'm going to do the same for Article 9. And Article 10 would be the parks, Norm?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Okay.
I'll take that one.
Okay.
All right, and then the highway, I don't have a problem with that. Do you want to?
I'll do it.
Okay, Sandy. And the roads,
Yep. I'll
okay,
take
you
that.
want to do that one?
12? Okay, 12?
Yeah.
Yep,
got it.
Sandy has 12.
Who did 11?
Sandy, it's highway. 13, Norm, you want to do that? That's the rec for capital reserve, $5,000.
Sure.
And then the reevaluation capital reserve,
That's a good one. That's the same amount every year, I mean,
I can do that.
okay.
And then the lake improvement, Joe, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I would, as a matter of fact, and I don't know if you saw, but I've been in touch with the guy from the Silver Lake Association, and we're going to move forward, hopefully this spring, with eradicating some Silver Lake milfoil.
Did you
Good.
read that article that I sent to the selectmen?
I did.
Is that the one with the grants?
No.
Some grants?
There's a group that wants to do away with utilizing chemical pesticides or weed products in the lake to kill the milfoil. The Silver Lake Association, at least I know, plans to have a diver, and they've already got a pontoon boat thing going, and they're going to pull it up.
Yep.
It's more labor intensive, but it's better for the water and the fish, certainly.
Okay. 5, I don't have a problem bringing it forth.
5?
I mean, 16, I'm looking at 5, I'm looking at $5 million, and then I'm saying, oh, I don't have a problem with my $5 million.
Oh, okay. Pat, you want to do that one?
Yeah.
And then 17. Any other legal business?
You can do that.
Yeah, I'll do
If that comes, we can do that.
You have something else planned other than those? Okay. If you would just review with me the things that you want to do during your, you got some couple of,
We have a couple of certificates, yes, we have 3 certificates. Yes.
For a planning board and one for a zoning board.
Yep. And then I would like to just have a brief 1-minute discussion on the PD and their accomplishments, and then Tom has a 3-minute video for the chat. I don't think it's more than 3 minutes. I think it's 2 minutes and 58 seconds or something to do with that.
so are you going to talk about the police department?
Yeah, it's just a brief, probably less than a minute and a half.
Are
Just
you
making a
doing
statement.
The certificates and so forth also for the planning board and zoning board?
It'll probably be Sandy and I.
Because what I would do is when we take a break, I want to make sure we can get people quieted down and in their seats. And then what I can do is to just, like say, I'm going to turn the next segment over to the selectmen.
Okay.
You can take care of the order which you want to do, the planning board, zoning board, police department. And then if you want to also, Tom,
Okay. Yeah, because I'd rather him do that.
up with Tom and the CAP program
Right.
and so forth in the range, and then we'll Then, at that point, we will then go on and move on to Article 6.
6, okay.
Recycle committee in there, maybe?
I did tell you you could. Where would you like to be? Right
If you put me in with that, it seems like that's a good continuity
Want to go
thing.
before then, the chapter?
It really makes no difference to me at all.
How long a thing is
3 to
yours?
5 minutes, state of recycling currently in Tilton. They're building the facility, and
Department then, and then before Tom,
Okay.
recycling. They will have a projector available.
Great.
And I'm bringing mine along as a backup.
Are you going
I
to,
had the video on a thumb drive,
That, you should be able to just plug it right into
and
a
then just do it, yeah.
laptop.
are you going to
Right.
have Kathy there putting in any amendments?
She is going to be there. She's got a copy of the balloting results, so that in addition to Cindy reading those off, they can be shown. We're going to have all the warrant articles, and then as soon as Cindy gets any amendments, then they'll go right to Kathy, and she'll put them on. Yeah.
That works out very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pat, when you do the chat, can you make an announcement? I'll give you a flyer for the dinner.
Yes, but they'll be selling tickets in the hallway of that, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's going to be,
Okay, so they'll-
Either that.
They'll know that because-
Give me something at the very beginning of the meeting, and I can make the announcement.
right,
Okay, that's what we'll do, this way they'll know.
And that way during, if after they.
if they have a break or something, they want to do that,
Right.
they can get their tickets. Yeah, that'd be good. Anything else that we didn't think of? Is the chief coming? Do we know? Do we have the Explorers there, or do we have, is Kirk set up for video, audio?
Eric is all set for Explorers.
Okay, and Kirk is all set for audio? Okay,
I did speak to Kevin Sousa about the mic situation, and he had spoken to people at the high school,
okay,
and he said whatever we want to do, they will do.
okay, good. Okay,
Their concern is that if someone forgets to turn the microphone off, then there are
conversations, right.
goes out to everyone. You know, whatever.
Take that, that's our responsibility to shut it off, and
Right.
remember to shut the mic off when we do that. The recorder
Yeah.
as a backup, the recorder. Does the rest of the board know that Tony is staying on as Budget Committee?
no, I didn't, but that's great news.
Yes.
Was she written in?
Yes, she was written in, yep. And Eric Pyra also was written in. Yep,
Well, that's wonderful that she agreed to do it again. That's a
Excellent.
coup for the town.
excellent news.
Now, will there be an attorney there?
Wait, we haven't,
No?
do we need one for the sewer thing?
Did
I
you
just
see
thought I
something
would
you,
ask. I didn't
did you
want-
see something you thought?
No, but I just want to ask so I don't have any surprise.
We hadn't planned on it. I don't know, other than there's probably just the one article that there'll be a real heavy discussion on, other than the budget, and I don't know that there's too much of a discussion on that, other than Pines coming to want more money, but
I never think it's a good idea to have an attorney at town meeting. You can always investigate afterwards.
so we didn't really plan on it. Last year was a real good idea to have one, but
We were happy you were there.
what's that?
I don't think there's a lot of contentiousness.
Too much.
Yes.
Okay, so we will see you bright and early?
Yeah, I'm going to be there a little after 7 or close to 7.
Okay,
I think the key thing to do is to make sure that we get those, as we discussed Monday, get those tables set up properly for the
Yep.
supervisors and checklist.
Yep.
Talk to Bernie about it so he knows.
Okay.
I will try to, if someone thinks of it tomorrow, to just double check with the highway department on my chair.
You're okay?
They've got it.
Because they were keeping it over at the middle school.
They're going to
I put your
be
chair
setting
over-
up,
Dennis has your chair at the
Yes.
highway garage.
and there he is, right there.
Right, Dennis?
File.
Dennis will be setting up
You are the
at
keeper of the
2:30
chair.
tomorrow at the cafetorium.
Keeper of the
So
chair.
the stuff will be basically set up there prior.
Okay, so we can go, actually, I could take a run over tomorrow afternoon and look at it.
Let me confirm that. Mr. Allen,
I'll go over if you
at
want.
2:30 tomorrow, you guys are going to be helping set up the gym, or the cafetorium, is that correct? That is correct. There you go, Mr. Mitchell.
I'll take a run over to
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to be there too, because I have that table for the recycling thing, and
Yeah, Iris is taking, he's going to bring them.
With the tickets, and we have people that will man that table. What about the ballots, and you're going to be responsible for bringing all of those little ballots?
Did you confirm with him that there'd just be 2 ballot questions?
Well, yes, and I am definitely going to make number 7 one. The only thing I can say is, according to the rules, anyone in there can request a ballot count. So if someone does, we ought to be prepared whether these things are set or not. Maybe one more step.
Okay.
Just to do it? Okay. I can't even imagine if there was another one, but
No, not on those.
not on the ones.
Sanction courts.
Oh, I have several.
Okay, that much left.
Extension cord serves the purpose. Have a printer. An extra Wi-Fi.
Nice.
It's in my traveling kit.
I like this. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I think we're all set.
I'm going to
And
need
I
a word.
have Catherine's grain bag.
Good.
They,
Have a grain bag.
Thank you.
I thought
They,
there was some significance to the grain bag.
no, none. Catherine, in your absence, we signed you up for all the articles, so you're all
good
set.
luck with that.
Not a
luck with that.
problem this year.
No,
Wait a
the
minute.
the only one that you're doing is Article 7, Catherine, so
Oh, thank you.
you're talking on that one.
You know how much I hate talking.
Well, you're just making a motion to bring it to the floor, so.
Oh, no, I'm not. There's a lot more than that. Mr. Moderator, by the way, yeah, I think it might exceed that. Special exception.
Well, if we get to the 5-minute mark and you have more to say, I will probably interrupt you and ask you if you need a little additional time.
About 4 times. That'll be it. Yeah, okay. Any more things we need to remember? Just don't
Tomorrow afternoon?
Just don't wear green? Okay.
I have a
Great.
shamrock scarf I'm wearing.
Don't wear green?
Yeah.
Do you want us to wear orange?
Whatever, just don't wear green.
Red, white, and blue.
Yes.
Okay, for the have a little Thrive 101, please make sure that when you use it and take it, that you sign out, because I was sitting here this afternoon thinking I'm looking at my email and going through it, and I wasn't on my email, I was on
Nice
Joyce's
shot.
email.
You did that the other day.
You must have used the Thrive at school, and it didn't sign out. And I just I signed in, but evidently I didn't really sign in fully, and it's used your email. And I'm like, I don't remember any of these names, and so then I looked. So,
Now I'm going to kick myself. What's Thrive?
please.
This is a Thrive.
The Thrive?
I
That's what
thought it
it's
was
called.
like a notebook tablet thing.
It
Yeah,
it
but
is.
It
The
isn't
name on it, the brand name is Thrive.
like a
That is-
skidoo, Captain. They're snowmobiles.
It's like having,
Skill saw.
That's right,
it's like having an F-250 as opposed to an F-100.
Yep,
as opposed to a Ford.
yep, you can.
They're both Fords. This is a Toshiba Thrive.
All right.
House Bill 1674 has been defeated again.
All right.
Which
What
one
does
was that?
mean exactly?
That was the one bringing the interest rate off the penalty.
Dropping the interest rate.
They've got no business
So did
doing
it die
that
on the
anyway.
floor or in committee?
House Bill 674 was voted ITL by the full House.
Oh, good.
The full
What
house?
was the score?
Well, one doesn't have a cease.
A subsequent vote to reconsider also failed, putting an end to this bill for this season.
Yay!
All right, so save all your notes for
Like-
next year.
It's like SB2 in some towns. It just
Yeah.
keeps coming back.
Won't go
year
away.
after year after year.
That's
Good, good,
That
good.
is good news.
Also, the trustee of the trust funds, that position is still open, so that will have to be appointed.
That's a 6-year term?
No, that's a
3.
And actually, we'd only be appointing it for 1 year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you know anybody that's interested. The person that had the most votes did not want to accept it.
Okay.
So you can't go down the line, you can only take the top.
There's only a
Are these the
winner.
ones that have all the write-ins too, is on this?
Yeah. Those are the ones that accept it.
Oh,
But not all of
oh,
them.
you didn't write in everything, okay.
Just the ones that accept. Because, I mean, like Mickey and Minnie did pretty good on
Yeah, they're not gonna make the minutes.
the selectmen's race, but
So, yeah. So go with that.
All right, so we need a trustee of the trust fund, and that's it, right?
That's it.
Wow, great.
Yeah. Doing it really well.
Okay, trustee of the trust funds, let's go. Come on, people out there, sign up.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
We should have Tim put a thing on the website, so the minute somebody clicks on it, this little flag.
Congratulations!
A little flag or fireworks. Sign up for town office. Town
just an
committee.
application pops up.
So instead of having to look for it, it slams you in the face.
it's your lucky day. You've been appointed.
You won
Yeah, you won.
a position. Oh, that would be great.
Could do 1 million.
Now, let's make,
Thing or-
now, and on top of that, we could put penis enlargement pop-ups, too. What the heck? My wife used to get those all the time.
Okay,
I'm sure there's a story there.
right along.
When we first got our computer, pop-up we had no anti-pop-up software.
Moving right along. Let's keep this going.
Yes.
We have Highway Director Dennis Allen. We'll talk about road sweeping.
Printed any results to the election?
Yeah, right here.
Pass that.
Oh. Thank you.
That's our only copy, but you can,
When will that recount be?
with this 5 of us here,
When will that recount be completed?
That's going to be.
Next
yes,
Thursday.
That's what I wanted to talk about, too. The recount's going to be next Thursday at 3 o'clock here in Town Hall.
The heck requested a recount?
Excuse
We requested a
We
recount.
have a request for a recount from moderator.
Oh.
The 2 people, it's off by 2 votes. So what's going to happen is the Board of Selectmen, the town clerk, and the moderator are the Board of Recount.
Yeah.
The moderator is going to have an assistant moderator who's going to be centered, who's going to ask him. We don't necessarily need him. What I'm going to do is, we're going to separate all the ballots first from write-ins and non-write-ins.
Right.
Then we're going to take the write-in ballots and we're going to separate those down. I'm going to be sending out an email with exactly what we're going to be doing on that day. And any ballots that are going to have more than discussion on, we'll put those to the side. And then we'll get that done. There was, both candidates also going to have observers, if they'd like. They'll be here also. So I figured maybe, 2 groups. It should go by fairly quick, but I did want to have enough time before your meeting, just in case. So that's going to be on next Thursday.
I won't be here that
Oh,
day.
you won't?
I will not. But Mr. LaPlante will be here as well as the other selectmen, I would imagine.
Okay.
I'm leaving Tuesday morning. I have something I need to do.
Okay. All right, so there's 4 on that. 2 for each sheet. Okay.
I've done it before, so
Yeah.
I know what to expect.
The only other question that happened on the ballot was the tie for the amendments.
115 to
Yeah,
115.
115. Now, to do a recount on that would be pretty futile because that went through the machine. So the machine counted them. So there's not going to be a discrepancy. So it is what it is.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Second request. Highway Director Dennis Allen.
Yeah, we invited you up here once.
Still talking.
No, that was before you didn't listen.
You didn't listen, so she went back to the thing.
Okay.
It's the moment.
Put the mic around. Hard day? Worked hard?
Worked hard, yeah.
That's interesting.
First of all, you can, I'll show you that, okay? And
I love this.
address the board because it's this type of time of the season, we gotta have sweeping done, catch basins cleaned.
Yeah, Franklin's already started their sweeping.
Right. That's that one. I was only able to get, I do. Two quotes, two written quotes. I have one verbal quote from another person, but he was in Mass, and he was unable to fax us a quote, and I have down what he said that he would charge. God, I know you're going to
I think we used this one last year, I believe.
Rabbit.
Did we use Rabbit?
Okay, I'm going to read out the quotes on the increases. And I did get 3 of them. These are the catch basins.
We haven't any on Class 2 state aid roads? And do we do them if we did?
We do not know. Yes, we do.
Do they do them?
Do they do them? They do dig them out. Occasionally, yes.
They were doing Route 3 the other day.
Well, I noticed on my way here today that there was
Business.
one at Winter Street just above the middle school that it looks like they pulled all the dirt and whatever off from the top of the grade, which is several inches below grade.
Spring special, yeah.
Whoa,
Okay.
Whoa.
and that's $15 off the regular price.
Right.
What's wrong with that picture, Dennis?
Nothing.
Really?
Okay, so my suggestion is that I'd still, you have the quotes there,
Which ones we dealing with first?
I'll sweep it. Okay, I got a price from David Avery out of Lincoln. He has 2 high-lift dump sweepers, and he's $125 per hour plus one-way travel time.
What's that amount?
It's $125.
Oh, so it's $125 per hour to be here, plus $125 per hour to travel?
One way, that's correct.
One way?
One way.
Is he moving down here at the end?
And he's in Lincoln?
Like,
Mike Rabbit is $115, no travel time. But you will see on his quote that there was a
$60 per hour.
$60, but I got that amended
Okay, so we cross that out.
amended to 0?
to 0. Correct.
You see that, Catherine? You cross that off the bid? $60 per hour?
I did. I've got
Catherine, I'll give you my set when we're all done.
I've got 2 copies. Let me go.
Okay.
My song's being knitted.
You need before I came here today. I'm all set now.
Where's the one we're crossing?
We do this twice a year, correct? Sweeping.
Spring and fall,
We should do a sole source
I think.
for the year.
You do this twice a year, you sweep twice a year, right? Once?
In the spring,
We
correct.
did
You don't
last
sweep-
year once.
Yeah, why would you? There's no winter sand.
Right,
Right.
right. Okay. So what I'd like to do, okay, as in previous years, I'd like to award the sweeping to Mike Rabbit. He's at 115, even though he isn't the lowest. He comes in the summertime and sweeps our Main Street on Fridays for 1 hour per week. With no mold charge, no nothing.
Say it again.
During the course of the summer, he comes in on a Friday morning early and sweeps the Main Street from railroad track to railroad track. Okay, with no mold charge,
Every Friday?
every Friday,
All summer long?
all summer long, starting in June until middle of October.
But he still charges $115
No,
for that.
No, he charges, last year was 95 now, with no travel time.
So he charges,
So you get extra benefit.
I get extra benefits from my grant. That's another contractor that wasn't working in the area, it would be probably maybe the same price, but you'd have a mold included in that.
what is a mope?
No, but protocol. Mobile charge. Mobilization,
Oh, mobe. I thought you were saying
Travel
mope.
charge.
okay?
Okay,
That
so,
would be my suggestion.
so you're saying that he'll come in for the spring, he's gonna charge us $115 an hour.
This is rolls, that is correct, spring cleaning. And it's
Well, I
one,
got $115 per hour for Mike Rabbit.
that is spring.
Spring cleanup, one time.
That's right. That's
So,
correct.
and then in the summer,
He comes in on a weekly basis, 1 day per week, and he sweeps just the Main Street.
every Friday, and that's it. How much?
Last year was 95.
What's it gonna be this
I
year?
have not got a contract this year, but I'm assuming it's gonna be roughly the same. Okay?
Gas is up.
That's easy.
Yeah, that's frightening.
Okay? Now, last year, we expended $2,070 on sweeping. We had them for a total of 18 hours.
And we used
18
rabbit.
hours for the spring?
18 hours for the spring, that is correct. Okay?
And we used rabbit, right?
We use rabbit.
What does he typically take him to do Main Street from end to end, side to side?
Well, you charge an hour.
Just an hour?
He goes from coming from railroad tracks up to Winter Street, turns around and comes out.
Yep. Now, okay.
That's good.
Good deal.
That is a good deal.
Good deal. The cost of the sweeping of Main Street for 1 hour per week, times 15 weeks, at 95, is roughly around 14 to 4. Okay? That's on the sweeping portion.
Can you, okay, You also going to go with him on this?
We'll get to that next.
All right, so we're not going to do a sole source?
No,
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
So,
okay?
Yep.
So can we get a motion on the sweeping and then we'll go to the catch basin?
such a rush
I'd
here.
like to talk about the once a week.
Yeah?
Do we need to have it once a week? Have we had once a week in the past?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
And I think. it
It's pretty
really
nasty.
cleans it up, it makes the street look nice.
I want the streets to look nice, for sure.
And they need it.
Yeah,
Every week
okay.
they need it.
Yeah.
I haven't in the past
Clean
spent
the
that much
trash.
time walking around downtown in the summer, so.
Clean the trash and the cigarette butts and
And the
things.
dust and...
The dust, it needs it.
And then after we didn't have a summer parade last year, but after the summer parade, they really need it. And after the parade, they need, Old Home Day, they really need it.
Candy.
50% of the candy that the selectmen throw out.
Well, no. Those kids who, maybe the
That goes right
rappers
into
from
me.
it, but
They all pick it up, hold it in their device, and then take it somewhere.
No. That's the difference. When I put rules in all three of the sweepers, they have high lift dumps. What a high lift dump is, they contain it in the hopper. We pull a truck up beside them, and they dump the hopper into our truck of the material, so they keep on sweeping right after that. They don't have to go from site to dump site to dump.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's more efficient to do it that way, and that's why I requested they have a high lift.
so all three of these have that.
That is correct.
So they're going to dump into you, and they're going to keep on going, saves us less on there.
Right.
Okay. And just to confirm, during the summer, it's only the 95, so basically it's $95 a week.
Correct.
End of story, no extras, nothing. He comes down here, free.
In between 12 and 5, where there's no cars, so we can do it all, okay?
Midnight,
morning.
5 in the morning?
Between 12 and 5 in the morning, he sweeps it.
Probably why you never noticed them out there.
Pain in the neck when there are cars parked out.
I make a motion that we use
We have
Mike
to stop
Rabbit.
for just 1 minute. Payment due on receipt of invoice.
It's nothing.
That's not so
Essentially, he's
different.
giving us 30 days.
Right.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Wasn't 10 days. Go ahead.
Make a motion that we use Mike Rabbit Enterprise LLC for our 2012 sweeping contract.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now for the catch basins. Got 3 quotes. 2 of the quotes are the same per hour. And if you look at Mike Rabbit's quote, he's reduced from $65 to $50 per catch basin. So he is not by the hour, he is by the catch basin.
So
Okay?
How many do we have?
How does that compare to by the hour?
I'll get to that.
Okay,
Okay.
I knew you would.
We have 118 catch basins.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Last year, in the way the procedure works, okay, is he comes with a truck, I send a man with him, okay, to show him the locations of the catch basins. We lift the cover off, we see how much dirt's in there and how much water's in there, if there is any water. And as he is cleaning it out, we inspect it. We jot it down, so if it needs a base, barrel blocks, cone or top, or whatever, okay?
So you do your
we
own
have-
inspection?
So we do our own inspection.
do you do it? Who does those inspections?
The employee, the town employee that goes with it.
That's what I'm trying to ascertain.
Yes.
Do you do it specifically, or is it Jay, or is it
No, I don't.
Fred?
No, it could be Fred, it could be Jay.
So there's
John.
several people that would do
Yes,
it.
they're
Okay.
all qualified in doing it, they've
All right.
built them, so they know
Yep.
things to look at.
Okay.
Okay? Now, in Mike Rabbit's case, he's $50 per catch basin, okay? So what I did is I broke it down. Last year, we expended $2,220, and that was at the same rate of $120 per hour. At 18 and a half hours it took catch basins. So if you break it down further, and you divide the 18 and a half hours into the 118 catch basins we have, that's 6.3 catch basins in an hour. Okay?
So it's almost
Rather than-
$6,000 if you pay $50 a piece.
Yeah, it's $5,900.
What's that?
It's almost $6,000 if you paid by the catch basin.
Exactly, that's correct, right. And we're in town, you're probably gonna have 6 catch basins on Prospect Street. And we're gonna pop the cover off, and we're gonna take a look while he's pulling up to it. If there's that much sand in a 3-foot sump, we're moving on to the next one, okay? Because I can get by with that much sand in a 3-foot area, okay? So that's how we do it, and that's why we can do it per hourly, cheaper than per catch basin,
How'd you do it last year?
by the hour.
Who did it last year?
Thought Mike
Million
Rabbit.
catch basins, things. Yeah, a lot of area. Yeah,
I don't see that these two are charging us
no travel,
travel.
no travel,
This one is.
correct. Right.
Belmore is charging us for all sorts of things, though.
But it's still at 120 bucks an hour.
See, the thing of it is, Joe, they want to inspect and stuff like that, so if they get out, inspect, look around, wash, clean, whatever, okay?
Time.
That's time. Okay, I have the person that I'm already paying to do that.
I understand that. That's why I'm saying Belmore, yeah, but even so, traffic details?
Yeah, and I don't send, I don't have traffic control.
So we don't have any add-ons with Belmore either.
No.
It's just your basic 120 and that's it.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So,
Proposal fee.
Recommending.
I would recommend,
New England,
catch basin.
New England, yep.
They don't have a disposal fee.
No, they got the cover there.
Belmore
What do you
would
do
as
with
well.
it?
Put it on the bank. It's sand.
Throws
There's
it
no
back
trash
on
in it?
No,
throws it back on the sand pile and
no, we don't do that now.
respreads it.
It's very low cap.
What do you do with the stuff that the street sweeper dumps, that you dump?
Up back. You know, yeah, off in Blackwell. Same,
There's trash in that,
some,
especially in the summer.
very low.
We're not creating a problem by
We are not
dumping
creating a
swag
problem.
there, all right. That's the one thing I want to make sure of. All right.
Okay.
Dennis said,
I'll make a motion that we use New England Basin Cleaners LLC for the 2012 catch basin cleaning.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
aye.
Aye. Opposed?
And what I'd like to do is I'm gonna make out the form on the back of one of the quotes for Rabbit was to sign it, send it in, then get it on the schedule. Okay, so I'd like to get it on, and probably, hopefully, we can start the middle of April. Yeah.
So the check that Dennis handed to me was the proceeds from the Grange that he brought down for scrap, of which the safe cannot be a part of that because it has cement in it and they wouldn't accept it.
Because of why wouldn't they?
It's cement.
Concrete.
So we have a
Oh,
safe
you have
that's
to
down
do-
at the highway garage,
Dismantle it? Take the concrete out? Yeah, you'd have to take a torch to it.
unless we know somebody that would like a
Seems like
safe.
a lot of work.
Well, there might be somebody that would like a safe. You
That's
never
right.
know.
If you had an afternoon of doing nothing, it'd be kind of fun.
Who has an afternoon of doing nothing? I would like to know that first.
I think I'll go down and cut the safe up.
I would love to cut the safe up.
There you go, Dennis.
All right, you're in charge.
You find you have
And
to
how
do
much
nothing.
was this check?
This check is for $55.45, and I would love to see this going into the Caring Hands Assisting Tilton, Town of Tilton.
Is that
Line item.
on the up and up
It's
for us
the
to
old
do?
furnace that came from the Grange.
Is that on the up and up for us to do?
No.
It is on the up
Wait
and
a
up.
minute, wait a minute, let me finish. It is doable, because we can move money wherever we want to. But
Absolutely.
technically, it has to go into the general fund, then we move it.
Absolutely. That's what I'm
So if I
asking.
were to make, Madam Chairman, a motion to move $55 from the general fund into the chat committee, I can't do that?
Yes, you
Not
can.
today.
Why?
We don't have a budget to do that with right now.
We have no money.
No, we have
We're paying bills, aren't we?
We have a budget.
anticipation of the budget.
Well, no, I don't want to borrow
We
money
have a
to do
bare
that.
bones budget.
Okay, Catherine, I got it.
Okay, thank you.
We can say,
Got it.
once this is deposited into the account, it can be moved to the
I
Tilton
see,
Senior.
okay.
I would hold the motion until
Wait a
next
week, I
Thursday.
mean, we
Yes.
will have a budget.
Hold that check, because do not pass this check over to them unless I get a commitment it's going to the seniors. You got it, Dennis? All right.
Next Thursday will be a very appropriate time.
next Thursday.
On the penalty of death.
Give it to him next Friday. Thursday night, we'll make the motion.
But my suggestion on the safe, which it's a nice safe,
It's beautiful safe
Yeah.
inside. It's gorgeous inside.
and you have the combination.
And keys, little doors inside with
Put it on the
keys.
website.
It's a beautiful safe
Put it
inside.
on Craigslist as well.
Craigslist.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful little safe.
yeah.
Still like
That's not a little safe.
It's antique, right? I mean, you would think it would have some value as an antique.
That's not a little
It's not the
safe.
safe that every household
down south.
person would
Oh,
want.
we're talking about the one at the chat, aren't we?
Just looking for one I could cut up.
If you had an open cell downstairs with doors, you could, you could put it downstairs, it's on wheels.
But last year, Millie Shaw was looking for a safe for the church over in Samberton.
Yeah.
Remember that? And we thought she wanted the one downstairs we were giving away,
Right.
but that was too big, so maybe this might be the right size.
Yep.
They'll have to
That
come
would
get
be a
it.
good use for it.
Well, we could put it on the website.
I just
Craigslist.
as soon donate it to that church if they can use it.
If it's the size.
If they can
We
use it.
should
soon sell
not, we
it.
should not donate town property
Why shouldn't we donate town property?
because it belongs to the taxpayers. And any bit of revenue you can get from it,
As
we
it
don't have
sits
to.
right now, we cannot sell it for scrap, so it has no scrap value unless you
No,
cut
but
it
it's
all
got
apart.
resale value.
Well, hopefully it does,
Maybe,
yes.
maybe not.
We'll see how it plays out. We haven't been able to get rid of the one downstairs.
We'll come down, take some pictures of it. We got the combination to it. We do know the combination. We've opened it. It's beautiful inside. It's not so beautiful outside because it has a lot of paint that's peeling off of it. Somebody had painted it, and then over the years, it's just peeled off, but that could be a very nice looking
It's usually the
safe.
inside of the door.
I didn't even open it.
When you open them up, it's all that brass, and it's pretty decorative.
It's very, really nice.
Inside.
And the brass pins that go in and out.
Yeah.
It's very
They're
pretty.
usually pretty.
I just hope that we can do something with it.
Where is it?
As opposed to cut it up?
At the highway garage?
Opposed to, like the slate that was on the roof.
Where is it currently
It
located at
is
the
at
time?
the highway garage, in the spreader shack, in one of the bays where we put our spreader.
So it won't be long and you'll need to be able to put a spreader in there.
Is it where it's going to get rain or moisture?
Oh, it's gonna get moisture, but it's not gonna get rain on, get moisture from the ground.
No, I
From
mean
asphalt.
spray, when it rains, spray in there.
It's underneath,
Okay, it's far enough in?
well,
Okay.
that's all I.
Mr. Allen, I have something for you. Coming up relatively soon will be the waste cooperative meeting, which I won't be here to attend. You may or may not at that point, I don't know, but in the shortest of I don't know, they don't have a date because they have to get the bond RFPs back for the financing of the single-stream facility. And this was something I was going to bring up later anyway. That's something that we have a vote on, but we have no meeting date so far. Might be next week, might be a month,
Okay, yeah.
but sometime in that time frame, so.
I should be around, Joe, other than the last week, March.
No, I'll be gone for 3 weeks, and
When will you start pothole duty?
When the asphalt plant in Belmont opens,
when does that happen?
which I've heard
Early this year.
the possibility of the middle of April,
Me too.
15th to 16th.
I thought you were going to say when the holes are so big the cars are out.
So as
Well,
a
it usually coincides.
car falls into the pothole, fills it up.
Are you going to,
I am.
are you going to gravel some if they get big before then? I know that's a pain, because then you got to dig the gravel out to put the patch in, but if you got them big enough.
Well,
I just have people
Where are
asking
they?
already.
Where are
I've just
they?
noticed over here by Cummins, okay?
Yeah.
That there's a considerable, so we'll probably put some, where the public is walking and there could be a problem, or maybe a person falls, something like that, yes, I will probably put some gravel in.
The particularly deep holes,
Right.
not just where they're walking, but, if there's particularly deep holes, do we repair those with gravel if we have to? I can tell you don't want to.
Are you talking like on a roadway, Joe?
Yeah, let's just take Clark Road. It's a bad
gonna take a
road,
couple
and it
weeks
could be
for them to
any
get
road.
Yeah, we have in the past, in the wintertime, yes, put ledge pack down,
Yeah.
through sand, through snow on it, to make sure that it froze, okay? To lessen the burden of the frosting.
How do we go about,
Getting them out?
how do we go about ascertaining the need? Do we wait for a complaint, or
No, we look at it.
yeah, just as in the course of regular duties, or do you have a route?
Police are pretty good about calling in.
That makes sense. Well, they patrol all those roads. If they call in,
Yeah,
at least you'll have an idea that way.
correct. And right now, I don't think there's any frosting going. Okay?
The roads are not bad this year so far at my end of town.
I was glad you prefaced it.
Well, hey, I don't go everywhere.
You got one of the newest in.
I have the newest one, and thank you very much.
132.
I was behind a state truck going up by Riverfront, where that troublesome spot is on the right-hand side. And the guys get out, threw some patch down, coal patch down,
Carl Layton.
filled 2 holes. In front of me was a truck.
Carl
The
Layton.
truck went up, and there was a double-wheel truck, went over the hole, and all the coal patch was on the wheel.
That's why I don't, I would much rather
Carl
fill it
Lee.
with gravel, dig the gravel out, because the coal patch is $80, $90 a ton. It doesn't stay, okay? And I'd rather just fill it with the gravel, then when we get hot mix, cut it out, take the gravel out and patch it right.
I figured that was a very bumpy road for that truck driver for a while.
Yeah.
An awful lot of coal patch on it.
All right,
Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you very much.
you'll get on your waiting list.
Stop. One question.
Stop.
When spring cleanup?
Stop. Excuse me, Mr. Allen.
Come on, I'm not gonna tell you when spring cleanup. You look in your town report, it has spring and fall cleanup. Dates, hours, and time.
I haven't even
What we
looked
will
through.
collect.
I haven't even looked through it.
Second,
Is it about the
third-
same time?
Yes, it is.
Second,
all I need to know.
3rd, 4th of May,
And fifth.
from 8 to 4, and the
First week of
5th
May.
is from 9 to 4, and
9 to 3, 8:30 to 9:30, 8:30 to 3:30, Wednesday through Friday, and Saturday, 8:30 to 4.
there you go. It's right in the book.
Thank you.
I'll find out.
Okay. Anything else?
I'll think of something.
Run,
Okay. Zip.
run.
Taking the wreaths down at Riverfront Park yet?
Dennis,
No, I just noticed those were still there.
All right, moving right along. Does anyone know where the chief is tonight?
I just sent another email.
Have a question about this,
I hope nothing's going on.
yeah,
If it is, he's on it. That's a good thing.
There's a question about the sprinkler.
yeah, he has, we have an $857 bill.
For what?
Take one and pass it down. Oh, give me one for Sandy.
Are they all the same?
See on the back?
Pardon me? Pardon me?
I don't think we discussed this.
I didn't discuss it.
Certainly don't recall it. Has 3 new heads and offset 2.
This wasn't on the change order that I saw.
This hasn't been done, has it?
Yeah, work's been done.
This is a
Who authorized it?
bill.
Joyce, do you know who authorized the work?
Sprinklers, no. This is the first that I've made aware of this. It was to move the sprinklers. And I think, didn't we talk about this last week? And he said he was going to just take it out of his regular...
It says add 3 new heads and offset 2 existing.
Yeah, but they needed to be moved,
Yeah, but
and I don't know who
I can
that
see the
is.
offset 2, but quite frankly,
where are the other bids?
It's part of the PD improvement portion, the person
where-
that's doing it.
But where are
where
the other bids?
What
Is
if
this
it's
guy
part of the
already
change
doing
thing?
some
It's
of
a
this
change
work?
order. It should have been a change order, not a bid.
It should have been put out to bid by other.
Either way, they
No.
didn't do any of it. They didn't do any of that stuff, as far as I know.
Been part of the change order because we did the room, we made the room.
800.
you know, to be honest with you, this is life safety. This is state of New Hampshire. If it's required, we don't have a choice.
Well, we'll pay it, but I don't like being surprised by $857
We have
bills.
the choice of putting it out to bid
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
do.
at the best price.
Yes, we do.
I know we've got to do the work. We can't
Regardless,
be unsprinkled, but gee
Unless
whiz.
this was a subcontracted job by our contractor, then
That's what I'm saying,
you can
no.
assume that he probably shopped around.
Oh, yeah, I'm assuming that.
I think
assume
until we
that.
know whether or not it was a subcontracted job and find out whether it was part of the, what should have been a change
I don't have
order.
a problem with it being done. And I don't even know if the price is the lowest price or the highest price. The thing is, we do have that procedure in place.
We don't have an approval for it. At all. There was no approval made
Oh,
for it.
exactly.
And we just did a change order last week. Did that change order include sprinklers? Okay. There's my point.
The only thing I can think of is he thought that was part of his regular PD improvements budget line item.
Yeah, but-
That it was separate from the...
If that was the case, then now you reached over a $500 item, and there should have been 2 other bids. Either way, it's wrong.
sole source provider.
They are not. No, we didn't do any sole source providers with 2012.
I meant from before. It was the company that had installed them before.
Never seen this company before.
We've not installed sprinklers in town.
Not in 3 years I've been here.
Long time.
So,
Are you suggesting that this might have been included in his budget because he anticipated it?
I think it might have been something that he didn't anticipate, but he was just going to pay for it out of his PD budget, not his police station.
if that being the case, he needs other bids, and he should have had other bids.
And if that's being the case, it still should have come
And it's
before the
work-
Board of Selectmen, because what is he not paying? If he's going to pay this instead, what is not going to get purchased or paid for?
Absolutely. And this is not correct. And once again, we are faced with the issue that the work has been done, and now we get the request for payment. Enough is enough. This has got to stop. This is unacceptable.
Especially knowing that right now money is just so tight.
Right.
It's unacceptable. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are.
And it's 2.5 weeks after the fact. This was ordered on the 24th of February. So now we're 2.5, 3 weeks down the road, and we're just finding out.
I do remember a discussion
This
on,
item was budgeted.
Maybe, but I don't remember this particular outlay at all. Maybe,
Where was it budgeted?
It says on this, the thing, how they stamp it, if you look at the very top of the stamp, it says item budgeted, yes. Line overspent, no.
Well, that's because he's going to take it out of his budget. Improvements. That's what that means. In other words, he didn't decide to buy a helicopter. Do you see what I'm saying? Because he's got an improve within his budget, he has a line item for.
we still need bids.
does that circle around the yes an official?
Yep,
Oh, it is?
it is, because he signed down below, see?
Yeah.
By
It
who?
just means, see, look, he has a building maintenance line of $2,000. That's what that means. He has a line item in there where he's taken it out of, so yes, it's budgeted. It's not, like I said, it's not a helicopter, which we know isn't budgeted. You see the difference? But it doesn't, as I said before, okay, that has to be discussed with the Board of Selectmen.
Right.
Because
It's over 500.
he obviously had a plan for the $2,000 he put in there, so now what's not going to get paid for? What's not going to get done out of maintenance? Because if you don't maintain buildings, you all know what happens, they fall to pieces. Well, this is why sometimes a clerk of the works is worth his money. Although we did save money on that end by not having one.
Okay. What are we doing now?
Let's look over the minutes of January 26, 2012. Make a motion, we bring them to the floor for discussion and approval.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye. Right in the very first paragraph, the last sentence doesn't flow somehow. Some of it is the state-owned issues, and some is the town's. Some of it is a state issue and some is the town, but I don't know about where the owned thing came. Maybe it's nothing.
And an apostrophe,
Yeah,
towns.
I just leave the whole sentence out.
yeah. Just eliminate the whole thing.
I just take the whole last sentence right out.
Yep,
It seems to flow better that way.
yep.
Right in the middle where it says that I'd been over the road many times. I think he misunderstood because my statement wasn't that only the railroad tracks were bad, but only the part just before and just after the railroad tracks where the salt ate up the snow and made potholes on the corner. So I understand, I did talk about the railroad tracks, but also just around the corner.
So is that an unfair?
It's just not entirely descriptive. That's all. If we could add something in about the road just past as you go around the corner right there by the pine trees, because that is in fairly bad condition sometimes.
I take it we don't know who the resident was that discussed an issue at the municipal parking lot behind Gale's Insurance.
I remember that woman. I don't know who it is, but
We know who the individual is, it's just that we didn't put it in the minutes.
shouldn't they have been,
Wasn't she at the meeting?
She was, like you said, resident present at the meeting, because once it goes on the web, if you Google that, then that's out there. You Google that, person, it's out there.
Well, I mean, because the other thing, she's not even mentioned.
she's not
also
under
present.
also present? But that would be for the same reason?
Resident present, and ask the board.
Somebody comes to a public meeting and speaks, it's out there.
It's on the tape.
Now we've got a phantom. I mean, if you don't want to put it there, she at least needs to be, because she attended it, also present.
Okay. Page 2, second block, right down at the end, says, the phantom resident discussed the poor drainage in the parking lot, asked if anything can be done to fix this, as it can be very hazardous. I think there's an R after the second A, and there's no ER after the D, I think.
Hazardous.
Hazardous.
Gotta lose the ER.
Hazardous.
Hazardous.
Hazardous, I like that.
Lose the ER. I don't know, it's fun to make up new words.
Hazardous. You know, that word really sounds good too, Catherine. Hazardous, I'm gonna use that.
You have two little things at the top of page 2. On the left-hand side, if you go down 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences, it begins with as, it should be is. And then the third sentence after that, after further discussion, down on the other side where it says motion, have, there should be the word to in there.
At the very top of the page, there's no 1/26, 2012.
On page 3, down near the bottom right-hand column, you'll see, oh, there it is up there, Selectman Dawson. But down on the bottom of that paragraph says Selectmen. I think it was me. Anyway,
You did say that.
it's a phantom. It said, Selectmen said she is not in favor, so it has to be one of 3 of us. We could leave them guessing.
Is what we do on Saturday, I'm confused, on page 3, under Town Administrator, the board went over draft 2 of the warrant articles, and Joyce informed the board that the deaf exemption by law has to go on the official ballot.
That was based on an email I had received from DRA, DRA, the...
DRA, yeah,
And it said it had to go on the official ballot.
right.
We later clarified that she thought we were an SB2 town,
Okay,
which we are not, and that's why we moved it from the official ballot down to the regular ballot.
okay.
For the warrant.
The whole thing's a warrant.
That was all my question was about, was why wasn't it on the ballot?
Right.
Okay,
We found afterwards it didn't have to be.
okay.
On page 7, right at the bottom, when we went into non-public under D, consideration of the acquisition, and then should be sales.
I don't remember getting any ale.
I think we were ready for the ale, but I don't think we got any.
Right.
Any more?
Guess
Well,
I'll,
on page 5, I could have said 4 cents. Sometimes my brain is muddled, but it should say 40 cents. Done last paragraph, I'm sorry.
43 cents, exactly.
I know, but at that time, I didn't know the exact figure.
You might have said 4 cents.
Yeah, I very well could have, but it should say 40 cents.
Tim said it was 43.
Right, but at this time...
That time she
I would
said
have
40.
said 40 cents if I'd said it correctly. And I'm not saying I didn't, I'm just, I would not have said 43 because I didn't have an exact figure. I think I said 40 cents.
40.
Or I should have. Either way, if we could change it to 40, it would be more accurate. People read that, they're going to think I fell on my head.
I'm sure there's times they think that about all of us.
well, on the, one of the ballots, it said, "Get somebody with brains."
Yes,
Under
it did.
selectmen.
Yes. Yes.
Who did you mark that column?
I didn't.
Oh, that would be other.
Yes, that was another.
That was a write-in, get someone with brains,
Yes.
But they didn't color in the little circles, so we just didn't.
so it wasn't
And they didn't give a
one
name.
or the other.
They just said, get somebody with brains.
Okay.
All right.
I, without the brain, will make a motion to accept the minutes as corrected for January 26, 2012.
I will.
Since I definitely
second.
don't have a brain, I'll third it.
Wow.
Is there any discussion on the motion?
Yeah, seconds and thirds over here. I second the motion.
All those without a brain
Aye.
that agree? Aye.
I must have a brain. I'm getting out.
That's funny. Sad, but funny.
It is. Okay. Any comments from the public? Oh, we have a visitor from Michigan, once again this year, Carol, visiting from Michigan. Welcome.
Hello, Carol.
Carol, you came all the way from Michigan to attend our selectmen's meeting?
No, she came to knit socks. It's just that
For the selectman without a
But
brain.
we can't hardly get the
you're
residents
going to
to
get a
show up
couple
there.
more
Come
pairs
from
in
Michigan.
before we're done. Yeah.
She came to knit socks for the selectman for keep her brain warm.
Good luck with that.
The one without the brain, that's right. Okay. Joyce, we're ready for you. Moving right along, we're getting out of here.
Catherine, right there. Thank you. You'll be all right. Excuse me, I have a question. Somebody here, Catherine, will probably know the answer. How come that we don't list the blanks?
Right? Well,
There were a lot of blank ballots,
Yes, they do.
but they don't list blanks.
No, they don't.
And why is it that we don't list the blanks?
Because there's nothing there.
It's a non-vote.
It's a non-vote.
this is basically what is
Okay,
sent down.
that does it. No, that does it.
What we do is we count the original number of ballots that you have, you count the number of people that checked in, and you count the number of ballots that were actually,
Sure.
that's all
Makes
you care about.
sense, makes sense, just wanted to
And
know.
also the absentees, you count for
And
the
I have one
absentees.
other question. With regard to the last two articles, amendments 13 and 14, as proposed by the planning board, what actually happened?
What do you mean?
Now, I see what the vote says, but because of the way they're worded, I'm still not entirely 100% sure what happened.
Well,
123 people voted yes for amendment number 13. Okey dokey. But does that mean they can have motor vehicle repair things or not?
I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it.
And the same way with the very last one. Does that mean that now the law is going to say they're not permitted even though they weren't permitted to start with?
This means yes. Are you in favor of the adoption of amendment number 14 as
I know it
proposed by the
means yes.
planning board as follows? Yes, I agree. I am in favor of that change. So that means that one's passed.
What exactly does that change mean?
Automotive and transportation gasoline sales is not permitted in the Reserve Commercial District, RC.
So that will be added as they are not permitted.
That's
We've
right.
tightened the
Right, right.
restrictions in that location.
Right, and if you go to
Okay.
the chart, you can actually see on the chart what's permitted, what's not permitted. And we're showing that what they're recommending is that it not be permitted. So you'll see, well, we're using a little,
Is that DRA language? Whose language is that?
it's it's in the statute, and it was when I had them reviewed, it's in statute, it has to be written that way, and I had them reviewed by the attorney at the local government center. He went through every single one.
I think it was
The only thing-
confusing to me, and I can only imagine it was confusing to other people as well.
You're right. I did talk to several people and explained it to them. And I did talk to Gus that the next time, if she takes the not permitted part and puts it in the beginning of the sentence, it clarifies it a lot better instead of saying the whole sentence and then, what do you mean is
I
not?
am so embarrassed to say I voted incorrectly, or the way that I didn't intend to vote,
Right.
based on the article's language. Because I wasn't, at that point, I read it 4 times. and-
You can word the question so that a yes answer means no, or it means yes.
But this would have been much better if she had said, are you in favor of saying that auto and transportation vehicle repairs are not permitted in the,
I could have worked with that, or to state that as not permitted
Right.
vehicle sales and auto repair.
are
And
you in
that,
favor of not permitting?
there you go.
Yes, so,
To make it less confusion, each one of them, and I know it's the space thing, should say what the current article says. The current article says, are you in favor of changing
I had-
it to read?
I had somebody approach me because
Do-do-do-do-do.
they didn't know what they were voting on.
That's right.
There was
That's
just
right.
are you in favor of this, with no explanation as to why it was there.
And
Right.
people
And I
will
said, well,
say,
unfortunately, it would take multiple pages on the ballot.
people will say, would say to me,
No,
what is
I
it
know.
now?
We
Word
needed
it
to have
so-
I said,
handouts
well, either it's
alongside.
allowed or, I don't know. I don't know.
No,
We needed to have
Maybe you'll-
handouts
right, but our
alongside so that
language
they
does
could
not
take that
permit
in
it.
with
It
them
doesn't
and
say
said,
not
this is
Oh,
what
I
we're
know, I know
looking
you
for.
can't say that.
Maybe,
but
I don't
you
know.
can say,
But we
you know,
do
if
because
it's changing
we
either
condense
by,
it. But if you'd
special
at least,
exception or
like I
whatever,
said, say,
but you can say, are
currently,
you in favor by
Article
special
4
exception?
says-
Next year, I'll be looking for
Blue,
that.
blue, blue.
Or you
We'll
can
deal with
say,
it
are
next
you in
time, but
favor of
no,
Then
that
you
was
could
wrong.
bold it or make a new
Or not
paragraph saying,
permitted.
are you in
Yes.
favor of?
So, I mean, I
Changing
think
it.
there's ways it could be written to where it would have been a little bit.
Smaller font, I mean, the ballots were
Something.
that long, we could get them on
You
there.
can't put the explanations in your question,
But you can make the question simpler.
Simple,
especially when
yes.
you're dealing with negatives. Because if you're in favor of not, are you in favor of not doing something?
Right.
Yes, no. That is confusing.
No, but what we're talking about is what do we currently allow that this is going to change?
Right.
We'll talk about it, I'll be having plenty of questions
That's why-
next year about some
That's why
of
the
these.
chart was put in there, so people
wording.
could look and see, well,
I
what
didn't
is
pick it up.
currently allowed?
Okay.
I guess the main thing we have to remember is you're really limited as to how many words you can put together on the ballot. You know, and there's got to be an easier way. And like with this, I think if you take what they say to the back of the question and put it in front of the question, it would still be a short little question, but it would flow better and it would be easier for people to understand.
Suppose, especially those of us who don't have much of a clue.
Okay.
I had asked Tim that, from last week, that the selectmen wanted to know what the cost was of the town report, so he included that on the back of his report to the board. We're all set for elections on Tuesday. Well, on Saturday, town meeting on Saturday, I'm sorry.
Okay. She'll be okay.
I'll be okay. And I did eat today, so I shouldn't be so loopy. In your folders, I put the, but I haven't had a chance to update this because I didn't have the results. So, Earl, do you have a copy of the results that are floating around?
No, we have one copy.
One copy?
Here, wait, it's right here.
So I'll make a copy and make sure you get this back. So if you wanted to bring these to the meeting on Saturday, and I'll also bring some appointment forms just in case people want to do it then. These are the, oh, but she doesn't have the write-ins, does she, on this?
What do you have for, what did you put in our folders? What are you talking about? That you
Oh,
put in
you
our
already
folder?
got yours
Oh,
last week.
yes.
You can
Got
have
it.
this if you want.
Nope, I got it right here.
But I didn't have a chance to update it from the elections.
Now, you said the people,
See, I don't know who the write-ins were.
what was the notation that indicates does not want to be reappointed?
I wrote underneath, like on page 3,
Okay.
which is planning
I'm
board.
looking at that, but it was, I couldn't tell if that was for the alternate or
No.
for the one above.
That was for the one above. So we do know that we have, 2 people have accepted the position for Budget Committee.
On planning board, so only one person does not want to be reappointed? The other 2 do?
That
Yes.
I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty well intact. So they'll have 2 new members, right?
Well, I have to discuss one of the appointments with you.
So these are okay. Moderator, there's a recount.
I didn't see zoning, is zoning in here?
So you'll have 3 positions to appoint for planning board, or reappoint. Appoint or
Yes,
reappoint.
yeah. Do we have those forms to sign tonight? I was going to attend the zoning board next Tuesday night, swear in those that you're
I can,
swearing in.
I can print them out before you leave, and I'll have some at town meeting. And on Budget Committee, so we've got John,
Oh, here they are.
Tony, and so replacing Scott is Eric.
And you know, on the zoning board, there's someone who's going to replace Foster,
Nope, who's that?
Kathy Yo. She briefed that last week. I told Gus to let you know.
So there are no openings on the zoning board?
Not in full right now.
Alternate.
You need to be an alternate if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
What about, who's number 3?
Would you want to be on the planning board? That has an opening.
Yeah, but
You'd
who's
love the planning board, no.
number 3?
Jane is the
You move
chairman.
Arthur
Look
up?
at Jane again?
Yeah, you would.
Okay.
Arthur is now a full member.
Okay, have we signed a form for that, for him?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so he needs to be,
We're making Arthur full, and then Vicky's still gone.
right, but you're
Arthur
making,
is taking Vicky's
Right.
spot. Marina Sumner said she would stay on. Bob Brown and Joe.
so there's 3 alternates, they have no alternates at all.
So you would have a choice, you can either be an alternate, or if you'd rather be on the planning board, there's openings on the planning board as well.
Beg to differ, I can probably do both, but...
Oh, you could, but you said you didn't want to get a whole...
No, well, I'm
Overly
thinking
involved.
that I would, since I've done the ZBA, I would like to do the ZBA. Nothing
Oh,
against you, you're a sweetheart, I love you.
So you replace Arthur as an alternate?
Sure. I'll come in tomorrow and get the form to fill out.
So Arthur is replacing, is member 3?
Yep.
Yes. And number 2 is going to be Kathy Yo.
Really?
Yes?
So Judy Tilton she's got the 6-year term, right? Remember number 3 of the supervisor? No, she's got a 2-year.
Not Gail. Gail got the
But it was
6,
one was a 2-year and one was a 6-year.
Gail has the
Where is
6-year.
that?
Judy has the 2-year, right?
Supervisors?
2-year vote is Judy Tilton, you're correct. And Gail is the 6-year. Yep. You guys are in good shape. And then David was re-elected. Okay, Parks Commission.
On my papers.
I'm sure.
I don't know, but I got them, I know I put them in this morning.
On page 11, your Parks Commission.
Okay.
Did Marina say she wanted to be reappointed for that?
I don't know. I can't,
And then you have a vacancy to fill.
yep. I don't know, you'd have to ask Norm or Catherine. Has anyone come in to be a new member for the Parks Commission?
No, they've been looking.
I'm aware of.
They've been looking to replace that one. I don't think they'll discuss.
What about you, Norm? You could be a member of the Parks Commission.
Well, I've thought about that too, just let me mull it over.
Okay, sorry.
I don't want to take on more than I had when I was selected.
Right.
Now, on recycling, Janine, did she move up to full member?
Janine is going to be moving into the full member slot, and Michelle Foy is going to make application to become alternate. Or the other member slot, I forget which it is.
Yeah, it would be the other member slot.
There you go.
Michelle Foy,
Yes. Foye.
okay. So you would need some alternates.
Well, if we can get a full complement of members, I'm going to be happy. we'll be looking. Certainly, anybody who's interested in the recycling efforts
what I
here in
wanted to
Tilton
say.
can make applications through the website.
We have an extra.
And we welcome you to
This
the
is
meeting.
really normally something we would do after town meeting.
Well, it's just that at town meeting, when you're at town meeting, if you know what's open, then you can, as you see people, you can see if they're interested.
True as well.
So we would just be missing one.
Line up
If you
on
look at this, I think that we need to discuss this.
Yes.
I think we need to discuss this.
It's number 5, right?
Well, I think the planning board needs to discuss that.
Oh, I think we, as selectmen, need to discuss that.
We're the reappointing board.
It's not getting my vote,
Well, the recommendation usually comes from the planning. board.
whether or not the
I know
recommendation
that
comes or
we are,
not.
we are the final decision, but
And they
I
can
just-
certainly recommend.
yeah, I think that they should do their thing and then recommend to us, and then we'll discuss it. I would hate for our decision to influence them. I know we need to discuss it, but I just don't think we should prematurely do it. I think we should let
Okay.
them discuss it, make their decision, and then come to us. But that's just me.
Would you put yours away? Do you want the chat ones?
Yes, do you have them now?
Which one is
4, 5, 6, 7. That's page 15.
page 15?
Because then I can get the forms made up.
So 2012, Cindy. Oh, she's up this year, right?
Yeah, number 10, number 10.
Member 5.
Number 5 doesn't go up till 2013.
Where's member 10? Yes, member 10, member 12, member 13, member 14, member 16, and you don't have all of them listed.
Okay, this is what the form from Cindy.
Some people may not have come in and been sworn in. Then they would not be on the, they would not be on the official list then.
You know who it is?
Yes, we have Judy Tilton, we have Elaine Grace,
Okay.
we have,
But that's, no, there's no, this would be adding a member 19?
we have 23 members.
It goes up to 18. No, that's fine.
Can I be a prospect?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
they only get, what, the bottom rocker or whatever?
You're on our list, actually. Right, so,
What about member number 3?
I don't know about her.
Well, I would need to know,
Yes, absolutely.
of these other, up to 23, what their terms are. Number 1, who they are, and then
Yes,
if any
in
of
their
them-
terms, so I will have that, member 16 is spelt incorrectly. It's E-U-E, F-U-E-N-O. E-U-E,
F-U-E.
N-O. It has an F-U in the, too much, in the middle there.
And I won't know how to pronounce it either way.
Yeah, but the way she said that, it sounded like she was...
Yeah, Joyce, take it
I,
under advisement.
It's all in the way you take
What's up with
things.
tonight?
I sympathize with her because I do spend my life spelling my name in the E's and the I's
Yeah,
and
I
the
get way
O's.
too much candy. I can't speak for anyone else.
Constantino, I wouldn't think,
They always put extra T in it.
yeah,
Constantino.
yeah.
Constant, yeah. They always put a lot of things. No N, it's Constantino. But, yes, I'll go over this by next Thursday and add the ones that are not on there, because we have Elaine Grace, we have Judy Tilton. There's two other people that I know of. And I've got my list at home, because I thought I wrote them all in there.
All right, and then Energy Committee is another one that we need some people. We need 2 members.
And have always needed 2 members, haven't we?
Yeah. Haven't been too successful, and it kind of fell by the wayside, and I feel sorry about that, but I did get recycling up and running.
And moving right along, too. I was thinking perhaps of volunteering for that committee and trying to follow in the formidable footsteps of Selectman Boudreau. Formidable. Well, your feet are like 4 sizes bigger than mine. So, hopefully I'll be able to get other people involved. Maybe Catherine Dawson. Maybe.
I mean,
She knows a lot about energy.
Drives the biggest gas hog in town.
Don't go there. I'm trying to smooth her over here. But we'll talk about that, no doubt.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to give you a status report on the intent to cut. We have 2 intent to cuts for Sherryland. I've been working with the forester that is working on this, and there's a couple of issues that have come up. First of all, the parcels that are being cut, there are no taxes owed. They're all paid in full. So there would be no yield tax to post security unless you felt that there was a need to, but it's not because that they have not paid their taxes. The second,
Let's back up on that one. Is the RSA specific, or does it simply say, does it say the property doesn't owe taxes, or does it say the landowner?
What difference does it make?
Makes a huge difference.
It would make a
If
huge
the landowner
difference.
owes taxes to the town, then we can still require
Oh,
him
I
to post
see.
a bond.
right, but the issue is we don't know. In fact, I'm waiting. I've asked him to work with the individual's daughter who has power of attorney, but the question is, does she have power of attorney for the property owner that's listed on the property tax card, or the power of attorney for one of the corporate officers of that company?
Well, and that's the other issue, because
That I don't have the
that
documentation.
request is in behalf of George Hast.
It's a request on behalf of a corporate officer of Sherryland.
Right.
It was not George Hast, right?
Well, it's a corporation. Well, what I'm looking for is, I said I need either documentation that she has power of attorney for Mr. Thayer, who is shown on our property record cards as the corporate owner, as the property owner of Sherryland, or if she is signing it as for George Hast, who is one of the officers in the corporation. So I haven't received that yet. He said he was going to fax it to me, but I haven't received it. And then the other issue is on the yield tax. If you want to have them post security, which in answer to your question, I think that if you feel that there is a possibility that you will not see the yield tax, you have a right to post a security.
I think so, too.
So I had Lauren calculate, based on what was filed, what the yield tax would be, and that came out to a total of $4,951.50. That's figured at the high end. You don't really know until you get your slips. And he said that it would be half that because they don't know until they're out in the field cutting. And you know how the prices fluctuate at the mill. They may decide that for this particular batch of wood that they're cutting, they might as well just go ahead and sell it as chipwood or whatever. There's different categories of wood.
But we won't know that until the cutting's actually done. We have to get them to post the bond in advance.
Right. Well,
so.
this is the thing, though, is if he's posting the security, he has no problem with that because that means that if the yield tax is less, the town would refund him what he posted.
At least
So-
we'd get it.
Yeah, I don't care who posts it,
At least we'd get it.
as long as it's posted.
Well, he's afraid if the landowner posts it and we take it for other taxes, then he's out money. So that's the question.
That would be a legal issue, wouldn't it?
But what we have since found out is there are no property taxes owed.
Yeah, if this is Sherry land, you're
Yeah.
correct, there are no property taxes
Right.
owed.
So that wouldn't
But
be
I
an
would
issue.
still, I would still want them to post a bond,
Yeah, I think that,
since one of their corporate officers, officers,
So are we signing it, or are we making
no,
them
we
post a
still have
bond?
to make sure that she,
I wouldn't sign it myself.
they're
the
still
other thing,
lacking the power of attorney.
right, the other thing I thought of doing, because this is such a convoluted,
Yeah.
I mean, technically, his name shouldn't be on here at all.
Right.
Not unless he's a partner or
Showing us something,
director or
right,
something, and we don't have anything that
Exactly.
indicates that he is.
exactly.
Oh, wow, maybe that does indicate that he is, doesn't it?
Well, even if he is a corporate officer,
Yeah.
it's a corporation.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
The other property is separate that he owns from
Right.
this. And then we're also running into, we're getting close to April 1st, where you start a new tax year, so he would have to file all new forms anyway.
Well, there you go.
Or if you were to approve these tonight, after April 1st, he'd have to refile them, because now it's reportable in another year. So it's very convoluted, but hey.
Thank you for taking care of
He's
that.
he's working for his client. But I was thinking of calling DRA just to see if they could, covering all my bases. Usually I see what comes in. Did you get these? Mm-hmm. Right, so this would be nice to, it's also can go to any new committee members. They're welcome to. So, these are the local official workshops, Catherine.
There's one coming up, April, what's it? Yes, ethics. I'd like to go to that.
What is it?
It's a workshop at the local government center, and it's going to be on ethics, which will go along with what Joyce and I are going to be working on.
Is that in this one?
No, it's not in here.
Is that an all-day thing, or is that just a morning?
They're usually just,
We heard about it and we went.
usually there until noontime.
We did get the flyer on it.
It's LGC, it's a course on April 5th on ethics.
Yeah. If you go online, on their site, I think it's listed there. Yeah. At least us, I don't know.
If you just, this is just a status report, if you just wanted to, I didn't want to stick that in the FYI file without drawing your attention to it first.
Oh, okay.
Because it is pending litigation.
Yeah.
This isn't the
Yes, that's,
Selectmen's School, right? The local officials workshop?
No.
It's not the Selectmen's School.
I think Al went to that already, and
Yeah, I think we all have to, no?
Bill went.
Yeah.
It was very informative, actually. I learned a lot and got to network a little bit with other people.
Just to follow up on the 2012 presidential primary polling place checklist for Tilton, I spoke directly with Matthew George, explained to him about there is no ramp needed at the Winnisquam Middle School, therefore no handrails are needed. He said, fine, thank you, we didn't need to do anything else. He noted that. And then Cindy said she had also responded, I don't know what she, basically the same thing, and I also called the Secretary of State's office, and they said that they had sent the information about the stickers and that they would be following up with Cindy on that.
Okay.
And the to be signed is change order number 2.
It's all signed.
I'm sorry, change order number 3.
3, yeah.
I just wanted to explain, we had the lift had its annual preventive maintenance, and the problem with the grinding is that it'd be easier if I just showed you. It's nothing major. If we hear it again, it's okay, and it would be better to wait until our next preventive maintenance to get that fixed. Again, it's just a matter of sliding over these.
Is that the noise you hear when you get toward the bottom of the
Yep.
shaft?
Yeah, it's okay. Nothing's being broken or worn away. But to have them come out each time and move that over, it would be like $300. So, it's all right. So we've had our annual preventive maintenance. Catherine and I researched the Selectmen's minutes, and we do not have a vote, an actual vote to accept these monies.
Okay, so let's do it.
The Home Depot $5,000 gift card was. There was discussion about this, but there was no formal vote to accept it.
And that would be exactly what?
Let me have the checks. I'll do it.
There's 3 checks, and Catherine.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to accept a check from the Tilton Northfield Fraternal Association for $100.
Second?
Motions, you're going to do them all at once or just one?
Yeah, I can, okay. I'd like to make, and in that motion, I would like to accept a check from Cindy Reinhardt for $500 for paint for the senior center. You gonna
Second. Well, it's all one.
All one vote.
Okay,
Aye.
yep, and a check from AutoServe for the amount of $1,500 for the Tilton Senior Center.
Okay, second. I would like to second your motion.
A motion's been made and seconded to accept 3.
Certain.
uh,
I have one question under discussion, if that...
Wait, she's, okay?
3 separate checks in the amount of $500, $1,500, and $100. Discussion?
Cindy Reinhardt donated that money her own self, or was
Yes,
that...
her own self for the painting of the main hall.
My goodness.
Did you see the pictures?
Thank you, Cindy. Beautiful. Thank you, Cindy. Which looks very nice.
Yes, it does.
It's
Quite an
unbelievable.
improvement.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain?
Okay?
The other thing I have is the invoice for putting in the security system in the door in the Grange. I don't know if you were going to talk about that, or... That invoice, I put it
Oh, we
in-
can. You put it in mine?
Yeah.
So, I was leaving the Grange one night, and I could not activate the alarm. It would not allow me to activate the alarm. And it kept saying, fault back door. And I thought maybe the back door wasn't completely shut. So I went, I don't have it, back and forth, and to the back door to the alarm, to the back door to the alarm. Okay. So after about 45 minutes of trying it, I decided that enough is enough, and we were not going to activate the alarm for the night. But I then talked with Tom, and he went by early the next morning and tried it to no avail. It kept saying, back door, fault. Well, I called Scott Mango, and he came up, I think it was that day, actually, or the next day, that afternoon, and we checked a few things, and he couldn't understand why the back door was not wired. He said the back door is not wired. I said, I don't understand why the back door's not wired. And he had said, well, one of his workers had said that one of our workers said not to wire it, but then he spoke to his technician, and I'm not sure that that was true, but to make a long story short, we went back to the front door, and I said, it's still saying back door fault. He said, it can't be, there's no back door alarm on there. I said, well, there is, it's a back door. Maybe the front door is swapped with the back door, maybe. I said, well, let's see. I opened the front door up, and there it came up, front door alarm. I said, that's not the case. So he went out and got a toner, and a tone device, and he actually toned the wire, and it was sitting up above in the ceiling, all coiled up in the ceiling. So they never brought the wire down and wired
Didn't
the
hook it
door.
up.
So he tried to do that, and with blown-in insulation, it gets to be very difficult. And he made a few holes in the casing of the door hole, and he went several different directions. And he did nick one of the wires that go to the circuit for the light. Blew out the lights. Oh yeah, blew out the lights, and we had to reset the circuit breaker, which came on, but it took a good-sized nick with the drill to the wire. And
Did you have to replace the wire?
so after a couple hours, he finally said, I can't do it. I mean, he tried the casing of the door, he took the vinyl siding from the side up and brought it in, couldn't come through that way. And then we have an exit sign going out, so he went up in the ceiling behind the exit sign. So now we have two holes in our kitchen that is brand new. Finally, he left, and
Thank God. Swiss cheese.
Tom's crew went up and actually cut a piece out of the ceiling and down, because, number one, they had to replace the wire that was nicked. You can't just leave a nicked wire in there. They had to replace that piece. So while they had it open, they called Scott, and Scott, they brought the wire down for Scott and put it in, and he put the tag on the door, and then he reconnected it at the box. After all of that, we got the bill for Mango Security for $289.75.
Why would we get a bill?
I say we shouldn't have never gotten the bill.
No.
Now,
Is that for both trips or one trip?
this is just for this.
Great.
Installed door contact on the kitchen rear door, tested all zones, confirmed receipt of all test signals, and restored and monitor company. The system is normal upon technician departure. And he charged us for the surface mount reed switch, first hour labor, and labor one technician.
Wasn't that already paid for when you thought?
Tom is actually going to, did you print out the email that?
No, I didn't, but he's going to have to bill us for
Tom
his
is going
time.
to bill us for, well, far exceeds this bill that's Mango's going to have to pay.
Well, I can understand Tom's charges, but I don't understand Mango, because when they left the last time, they should have checked that system, everything is
Well, he
good.
kept saying to us, Scott kept saying to me, the technician never should have left without wiring this back door. Never should have left without wiring this back door.
'Cause some
And
guy
actually, he was
said,
on the
he says?
phone
No.
with the technician, the owner of Mango. And he was on the phone with the technician at the time and said, you never, ever, ever should have left this place without wiring this door. So, here's my point. I don't think we should pay this.
Nor do I.
Honestly do not believe we should pay this bill.
So, we're getting a bill
Yes.
for something they didn't do.
No, they did it.
They did it, but
Eventually they
Should've done
did,
it
but
before.
So we're getting a bill for them.
we
having
brought the
to come
wire
back
down for them.
They
After
should
the
have done it
fact.
before.
They left the wire up in the ceiling, and then
So
we sheetrocked
this
the
is
ceiling.
Mango who did all these things and nicked the wire.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, we had to pay
Yes.
upcountry builders to come in and help repair the damage.
Now, didn't we also pay Mango to come in and put the alarm to begin with?
Yes, $844.
So that
That's the
that
big-
bill
We need to
came
go
in?
back to that bill.
Yes, and see if the back door is on that bill.
If it's not itemized, if it just says alarm in the building.
This one looks pretty itemized.
Bill to Tom to
Right.
make sure that everything,
And everything was right, because he wired it, and everything was supposed to be right. And
we didn't know and
we
then.
understood that we had a backdoor alarm. We asked them for a backdoor alarm,
That
because
system
we
should have been checked.
wanted a backdoor alarm.
That
Already
raises a
paid
whole
for
nother
it.
question in my mind.
That's a good point.
Because if you've been able to arm this thing up until that one particular incident, but that wire's been up there for, how many weeks, and you've been able to arm it, why couldn't you arm it then? I mean,
It could have been just the jarring of a door, opening and closing. The jarring of a door could have tripped it and just
if
shorted.
that hadn't happened, we would have never realized.
We never would have-
The door was not
Nope.
wired up.
See, it was done incompletely the first time.
And thought it was
No, I
working.
don't.
Right.
But now, did you try
I would
telling
dispute
Scott,
that all the way up to the-
I have not called
haven't called him either.
Scott Mango at all.
So we have
can
to go
have
to
those.
that, now we have to go back to the original bill.
Yeah.
See what was charged for
But
that.
I really and truly do not believe that we should be charged for that time.
No.
It was not our issue that did not wire that, and it was all open, completely open construction when he was told to wire it.
The only thing I could see on here that they could legitimately charge us for is the switch, which is $21.
Yeah, maybe the switch, but I'm not paying labor to
Well, the
get him
other
to do
thing
it
is, we've
twice.
been exposed for all this time.
Yeah.
No.
When did, I
The
mean,
back
Yeah, the
door.
flying
Well,
squirrel
one of the
might have
reasons-
got us.
And we've paid, but we've been paying for the service, have we not?
Yes, during the time from the time the door went in, the installation of the door, Tom and I both felt that we needed to get this alarm, that was a priority to us, because when you shut the back door, one day, we really didn't have it shut completely, and just happenstance, we went out around to get some medical equipment and noticed that it wasn't shut completely. The alarm would have told us had we had the door.
Larger.
That's why we made it a priority to make sure that all the hardware was on the door and that Mango had wired the door. And he went up there to do just that. When all of the ceiling was exposed and the wall was exposed, there was no sheetrock or anything at that time when he was supposed to do it, except the technician, all he did, he wired it in the box in the hallway in the front. He wired the wire, brought the wire all the way to the back, and just coiled it up.
Because the new door wasn't in yet to put the contact in?
Well, the new door was in. I can't tell you, it's only hearsay from that point, because the technician wasn't there and I wasn't there at the time when they were there, so.
The time he wired it, though, the new door was there, so he could
Yes.
have wired it.
Absolutely, yes.
Could have wired
He
it.
could have wired it, yes. There was no question why he didn't wire it. There was no question whatsoever why he couldn't have wired it.
And this
None.
is an all-new contact, all-new wiring, because there
This
wasn't
is
any...
not all new wiring, it was up there in the ceiling.
I
Scott
mean-
spent 2 hours trying to get it from where it was coiled down, when I was there, when he was troubleshooting the problem. We found the wire, he said, I see the wire, it's
Right,
all
but the
coiled up.
wire wasn't from the previous security system that we have. This is Mango's...
No, it was from the previous.
It was, okay.
The thing is, Pat,
The wire from the hallway to the kitchen was from the previous. From the kitchen to the back door is new,
Okay.
and that's where it was
And that's
coiled
what
up.
they...
Right.
okay.
so Pat, when that technician left for the last time, Mango is out of there, they're gonna send us a bill. They should have checked the system. Now, they couldn't have checked the system because the wire wasn't hooked up, and if they'd have checked the system, they'd have known that.
Right.
So we, in effect, had no quality control on that at all. So we paid their bill for installing a system that didn't work. And now they want us to pay more so that it'll work. And I can't be in favor of that.
I'm not in favor of it either. I said I'm not in favor. I told him I'm not in favor of it. Plus, he's going to end up getting a bill for replacing that wire that he nicked and closing up the,
Ceiling and
Tom's
door
going to
frame.
bill him for that?
well, Tom's going to bill
Us.
that we're going to have to bill him. We're not going to, we can't not do that.
And we wouldn't have been ripping
And it
up the
will far
roof if it wasn't for that.
Far exceed this.
How sad.
I will read you the email that Tom had said, go ahead and read it, I think.
But that's all I have. I could keep you here till 11, but I'm not going to. There's nothing
You're
earth-shattering.
not keeping me here till...
Madam Chair, we have a member of the audience that wishes to input.
I know I'm ignoring. Wait a minute, Jane, I just have to get this email.
Careful, they have knitting needles, you know. Ouch.
It's my sock.
I know.
You might just knit an Afghan.
Okay, so it's,
As opposed to a
it
Pakistani.
was from Tom, right?
Or Iraqi.
I think it's going to be under yours,
Inspection Monday.
because I don't know.
Holiday Inn
Oh,
Express.
it is under yours.
Okay, I definitely want to go. What time?
I'm not sure. Al's going to go because he's going to
So you'll have to sign in.
So it'll be,
Because I have no authority.
Okay, Jane.
the Board of Health, do you remember?
Yes, but
So,
I defer to you in all of this if, you need me, I'm there, but,
I don't know. It's going to depend on when he gets here.
because Monday night I'm leaving.
Should be around
Just
11:30,
remember,
11:30, 12 o'clock. If he gets calls in, he has to go and defer.
We don't have to look at it, but I don't know what we
do
do.
it Monday, let me know, and,
Right.
just go
But that,
without me.
that period, I don't think it was a full month that we paid for that whole month, though. From the time that, then we complained about it, I think it was
Sign in.
2 weeks.
I can go print it
Get
out.
some guidance from the internet.
All right,
Vermont
give it to
and
them.
Tennessee.
But I would see
Oh, you have to do at town,
this even.
yep.
And I just did that.
Toilet brush for the tub.
Yeah, I'm not used to- how do I get to,
In the state except for
functions?
Alabama.
Shift what?
Sorry, Alabama.
Where's
It's a
add?
joke.
Oh, add.
Got it.
No, not you. Anybody from Alabama who happens to be listening.
All right, well, if you wouldn't mind going either to your own
I would be happy to.
and print it out, and
Print it
then
out and-
come back and we'll discuss
Yep.
the mango, that'd be great.
I mean, I don't mind calling him and giving him a heads up that he's getting a letter from the selectmen.
Because I don't think that we should pay for it at all.
And the chief is here, so.
Okay, in the FYI, we have Notice of Health and Human Services, Division of Public Health. This is their
Shiloh,
Shiloh's,
I have that.
okay. Shiloh's Restaurant. The inspection is done.
Which one is Shiloh's?
They've done a
The Old Thirsty Crow.
pre-inspection.
The Old Thirsty Crow,
Oh, okay.
okay.
They'll be doing the final
They
inspection.
have a
They
CO.
open.
We have a bid for maintenance of the town of Tilton for the Parks Commission.
Oh, that's it.
Landscaping.
Yep. Board of Selectmen, my sincerest thanks for the beautiful flowers. Your thoughtfulness will always be remembered. With heartfelt thanks, Gail and family.
Additional.
This is Mango. Lakes Region Planning Commission meeting will be March 26, 2012.
In Tamworth, New Hampshire.
Yes. All right, this is DES.
See that? Oh, no, that's not the one I want to see. Never mind.
You want this one?
Yeah.
You're like the redheaded stepchild, Catherine.
This is a shoreline program permit application for
I love the CR.
26 Dublin Drive, map U340. This is Department of Environmental Services received an application and supporting materials for the permit program and subject property referenced above. Your application package is being returned to you because it did not include the minimum elements of the application package required for DES to begin technical review. And they were missing the Natural Heritage Bureau letter with map. So it got returned to them. Notice of acceptance of permit application for Land Resources Management, Department of Environmental Services. This is for Lockmere Meadows, Phase 2. Dear Sir and Madam, pursuant to RSA 541, please be advised that the Department of Environmental Services accepted an application on 3/12 for the permit program and subject property referenced above. The application requests a permit to disturb approximately 130,000 square feet of earth at the subject property. Pursuant to ENV-WQ 1503.05, the applicant is required to provide a copy of the application and plans to the municipality. If you have not received the required information, please contact the agent, Nobis Engineering. Have we received that?
I have no idea.
Have they gone before the planning board for phase 2 yet?
Or who is this again?
Lockmere Meadows.
They're coming before the board this next meeting.
So they have to provide a copy of the application plans to the municipality for the 130,000 square feet of earth that they're disturbing. Do you want a copy of that?
Yes, I'll make Gus may have it, but
Oh, here it
he
is.
hasn't mentioned it.
Here it is.
Oh, okay, so we did get it.
Yep, this is it, right
All
here.
right. I'll call Gus in the morning and find out if they,
Has a copy of that gone to Gus? And this is our copy? So there's 2 copies?
Oh, wait a minute, though. Does this say Novus?
yeah?
Why does this say Jay's Marina?
That's
What is
Dave's
that?
Marina.
Because they're just using the same engineering firm.
No, this is separate then. Because that says, right there, that says Lockmere Meadows up there. See it up on the top?
Yes, it does. Project name, Lockmere Meadows, Phase 2.
And this one says James Marina.
So it's something
This is
different.
something very different.
Yeah. All right, I'll make a copy of this and, huh? She does have a copy? Okay. So,
Yeah, this is Joseph Christie. Yeah.
he's probably doing something too, but I'll give Gus a call in the morning and see if she's gotten a report.
Application for renewal of groundwater management permit.
Okay.
That's what he's doing. Okay. So that's this here.
And on the Shilohs, we got a letter from DOT saying they weren't going to, that those driveway curb cuts for when it was the Thirsty Crow were temporary permits. And that they now were requesting, and they had to file a whole new plan and showing a turning lane. So, I asked Gus, and I think Jane did too, to give Al a copy, because they shouldn't get a CO until they get their business worked out with the state. So, I don't know where that'll go.
They have to comply with all requests from the Department of Transportation, certainly, so.
So, just so that you know, they may not get a CO right away, I don't know.
Why does it say return to Cindy? This is the shoreline permit application for 26 Dublin Drive.
All permits go through Cindy's office.
Town clerk.
Yes, the town clerk stamps everything, and then she gives out the copies where they need to go.
Okay. This goes with the 26 Dublin Drive one.
Okay, yep.
Babysitting service for Pines Community at town meeting. Minutes of the Parks Commission? It's only 3. Why all of a sudden we get in the minutes?
I wasn't at that meeting. They probably didn't know they had to, they were supposed to submit them to the town clerk.
Can you make sure that Cindy gets the minutes to the park?
Can I see them?
Okay.
May I see that? And these aren't approved minutes. Because you haven't had a meeting since then, right?
They had a meeting on the first Tuesday.
No, I didn't either.
Chief, do you have information for me for Saturday? Okay.
I have it in the folder here.
Okay. We have a question on the sprinklers. Was this, we don't remember this coming before the board for approval.
When we met with Upcountry downstairs, they told us we had to move some of the heads and add some heads to be fire code compliant. And Lieutenant Martin said this is the company that originally installed it and then serviced it, maintained it, and he estimated it would be between $500 and $700, and that's nice to call you, let you know that's where we were with it. I don't remember if I brought it before the board, but I remember calling just to say that they were kind of stopped. They couldn't go any farther until we did this. And when he got into it, he also had to replace a couple of pipes that had corroded, and he said it just wasn't safe to leave them that way. So I think it was one of those, when he got into it, it was a little bit more than he thought it was. I think he hoped to keep it around $500 and ended up replacing some pipes that resonated the drain system.
Was it subcontracted work through Upcountry, or did you call them direct and have the work done?
Correct. Because I don't believe Upcountry knew who installed the system and maintained it.
Okay, so they just said, you need this done, chief, and we have to have it done. We can't go any further than what we're
They
doing.
couldn't frame walls or anything, so the whole system, the whole project came to a screeching halt. And so I said, who installed it, who maintains it, who services it, and it all was the same person. I guess they've been doing it for years. And so he came right out that day, and I said, what am I looking at? And he says, well, probably somewhere between 5 and 7.
think it's the consensus of the board that this really should have gone for 3 bids because it's over $500. And we should have gotten 3 different estimates. And it should have gone with the policy of the town and gotten 3 bids. And then gone with the cheapest person. And even though he installed it, doesn't mean he maintains it and does the upkeep forever on it. There are other people in the general vicinity that could do the same thing.
He kind of made it sound like he did all our buildings. Do we know, does he? Does his company do all our buildings? Never heard of him. No.
So, okay, does anybody want any more, do you have any more comments on
The
this?
only comment I've got is, my understanding is that anything over $500, town policy is to put it out for bid. Bare minimum, probably should have come in and talked about it, and we might have gone around that, depending on the situation, and we're holding up everybody else, and, but I hate surprises that add up to that much money. I react poorly. My only comment.
I think what he's saying is he did, in fact, call me. I was the one
Oh.
that didn't bring it to you. I think that's what he's saying to you,
Oh,
in a nice
well, I knew
way.
he said something about calling somebody.
Yeah.
But how come we didn't find out?
So we,
Probably because it was after the selectmen's meeting that we didn't bring it up.
so we could beat you up.
Well, you could beat me up.
Well,
We've already covered
Here you
that
go.
she has no brains.
All right, that's only going to work so long,
Go in the no brain?
Well, do you remember as a kid, here, let me take my glasses off first, okay?
I'm not taking mine off, so don't hurt me.
Or this is something you don't know about.
Okay, I guess it's now time for selectmen's reports.
Why do I think you're telling me the story?
And sadly, but I guess we have to ask for the very last time, Norm, do you have anything for the board?
I don't have any report per se, but I do want to say what a pleasure it's been working with this group of people. And also, and I want to include Dave Wadley in that because I spent 2 years on the board with him, and I've enjoyed Joe. I especially want to thank... No. I especially want to thank all our department heads, Joyce, Bob, Dennis. Getting to know them, getting to work closely with them has been a real pleasure. They are true professionals in their job, and they deserve a round of applause. And Catherine as well.
Absolutely.
And Tim, yes. I didn't want to forget Tim and Gus. Might as well get them all, because they all do an excellent job keeping this town going. I will miss it. I'm sorry that I couldn't continue, but situation being what it is, it's probably better that I step down now, in case, then I can resolve my health issues, and I might come back.
Yeah, why not?
And I would like to keep this after town meeting, just as a reminder, and if I do come back, you won't have to make one.
Well, you will be missed.
Yes, you
Thank
do.
you.
Very nice.
Indeed, Norm.
And just for the record, we're replacing a selectman that likes chocolate just as much as you, so that's a...
This is the chocolate end of the table.
I noticed that the good and plenties didn't make it down here.
Oh, she just took the box I was going to pass down to you.
Yeah, life is
We have
hard.
chocolate, though. There's chocolate here.
Trying to back away from the chocolate.
Pass that down. All right. Good and plenty, good and plenty. Joe, do you have anything for us?
Oh, I got all sorts of stuff. Okay, as you know, this is the last meeting that I'll be at for the next 2 to 3 weeks. In that time, well, first off, in that time, there are certain meetings and obligations that I have. And I had it right here in front of me, but now I don't. Dun, 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 dun. Well, here we go. Here's part of it. No, that's not part of it. No, that's not it. Can you come back to me? I thought I had my act together, but apparently I was wrong. Don't shake your head at me, Catherine.
Okay, Catherine.
Oh, I got it.
All right.
No, really, sorry.
He found his act. Okay.
With both hands, I couldn't find it. I got a question about the drainage issue on Manville Road. If you go down Manville Road, as you approach 3M on the right, there is oftentimes can only be described as Silver Lake Annex. It's huge. It's mostly across the road. And apparently we have very poor drainage in that location. I don't know it for an absolute fact, but from all indications, apparently a culvert or drain has been blocked by somebody down there. After doing a little research in Title 20, that it's illegal to block those drains. As a consequence, I don't know what we need to do to get it back open again, whether we have to research to make sure there's an easement right away when the drain was put in. I mean, they can't just casually drain Silver Lake Road onto my lawn. They have to have at least an easement. But that being in place, that drainage should be unblocked, and it should run into the wetlands where it was designed to run in. And I'm not sure how to go about finding out about that, but I think we should. I have a question now, moving on, about the police payroll. We have DEA time, and we have detailed times. Farmers Market is one of them, and the Winter Carnival. Seems awful late in the year for that, but in any case, are those compensated times? Do we collect that money from somewhere else?
Yes.
So like the Winter Carnival people would pay to have...
$65 an hour.
Okay, then that answers that question for me. When I come back, I'm going to be all over...
I thought we gave the school a break.
The school we give a break, but not the farmer's market.
Oh, I thought I heard Winter Carnival.
Well, Winter Carnival was one of the things on the sheet, so...
The school, we give them a
reduced rate, or because we contract for an SRO, it just goes under that heading?
A special detail, we get a special break to the school.
We still make money on it, but just...
Not much.
It's
We break
$5
even.
off.
Ish.
So on the detail rate, I think we actually make a little bit. We reduced it slightly.
Okay, well, as long as we're not paying overtime for these details and for no compensation.
Joe, the detailed people, when they get details, it's $38 an hour. In July, it changes. We collect administrative fees and for the detailed car and so on and so forth.
Doing the payroll.
$65 an hour. We give the school a $5 break and charge them $60 an hour.
Well, I knew we did like public service or those
Yes.
kind of details for sure. I was just
Right.
curious about those.
Well, the farmer's market is a private entity, so we do that too.
Yay. Simmons Court, when I get back, I'm going to be all over trying to get Simmons Court cleaned up of tires and whatnot. So I haven't forgotten about that at all. I was thinking about that the other day, but I'm out of here. So unfortunately, my brother's had his operation and he's in intensive care and he's doing good. All the fingers and toes move and he's talking, not real fast, but he never did. So, while I'm gone, there are a number of different meetings that I would ordinarily go to, and I will tell you which ones I won't be going to. Some of them you may not care about necessarily. Some of them will need a representative. There's a TAC meeting for transit on 3/20, which is Tuesday, the day after the fire district meeting at 10 a.m. here at Town Hall. On 321, you guys might be all on this anyway, Old Home Day planning session at 6:30 PM at the Pines. That's Wednesday. On Thursday, 3/29 at Guilford Town Hall, 1 PM, is the consortium, which is the MetroCast cable franchise negotiations. We have yet to actually enter into the negotiation phase. We have, and I have distributed already, and there's a copy downstairs of the proposed franchise as submitted by MetroCast, their first shot across the bow, as it were. It says Guilford on the front of it, but it's a boilerplate, and that's just their first offer. There's a lot of talk amongst the various towns about what they've proposed, and I'd be happy to go over the specifics of it with you at another time, but that could last an hour sitting here to talk, and this is not the forum for that. But we really should have somebody there at 1 PM. 1 PM at the Guilford Town Hall.
That's the 29th.
That's Thursday, the 29th. There's on the 4th of April, you may or may not want to go, but you might, Pat, are the Mid-State Regional Coordinating Council Volunteer Driver Standards Finalization meeting will be at Belknap Merrimack Cap at 10:30 a.m.
Oh. That's the day that can you go to that?
Yeah, what day is it?
It's Thursday, the 29th, down at the Cap in Concord.
I can go.
Thursday, the 20th? No, you just April, you said
Oh,
April
no, I
4th.
was looking at the consortium. Thursday, April 12th.
No, are you sure you just said Thursday? No.
You said the 4th before.
Well, it's 4/12 on my thing, so maybe I did say the 4th, but it's 4/12.
4/12.
Yeah.
Oh, then
At
I might,
Belknap Merrimack Cap. Sorry for the confusion.
Belknap
In Concord.
Cap,
Yep, 10:30 a.m.
10:30.
What they'll be discussing at that meeting is the proposed standards for the various driver programs. Now, the standards are, they have to have some form of standard for reimbursement.
Right.
That does not have anything to do with the volunteer driver programs as they might exist or continue to exist. A lot of this stuff is no smoking in the car. You know, can't have a elderly abuse conviction in any state. I mean, the standards now are much less onerous than that first little book, McCall's, wacko, it was that thick. Then we're going to be having a cooperative meeting, the Regional Solid Waste. Now, we'll be voting on bonding and financing. I don't know when it's going to be because the RFPs are not all back. I'm going to try and find out from Jim Pressure so I can get that information to you well in advance. They'll notify me, and I'm going to bring my computer, so I'll be in touch. But I want you to know as soon as possible, just in case Dennis, because like he said, he'll be gone the last week in March. And somebody will need to go and look at the proposals and vote on which one they think is best. And that's the basic thrust of that meeting, but it's a very important one.
Okay.
And last but not least, although it's out of turn, on 3/26, there's a meeting of the Lakes Region Planning Commission at 448 White Mountain Highway, Route 16 in Tamworth. That's the Carroll County Community Action Program. That's on a Monday, and that's at 6 p.m. It's like the general board meeting. The topic this time is going to be regionalization, and they're going to have a number of speakers with that sort of expertise and resources to people to call and being able to network amongst these people. Here in Tilton, we do a great deal of that already, and they're actually going to be using some of our stuff, and my understanding is the underground storage tank, which will be the first such agreement, intermunicipal agreement in the state in that regard for fuel and whatever. So you might want to go to that. That pretty much...
What time is that?
That will be at 6 p.m.
And the address again?
448 White Mountain Highway, that is Route 16 in Tamworth. The Belknap, oh no, I should say the Carroll County Community Action Program Building. You might be interested to note, Chairman, that the new MetroCast agreement provides no funding whatsoever for Lakes Region Public Access. They would love to have us each have our own TV station. We'd have the Tilton channel. Anybody within the boundaries of Tilton that get MetroCast TV would get the Tilton channel. That sounds like an interesting concept, doesn't it? Excepting there's a downside to it.
How much?
Well, you have to, if somebody from the town of Tilton, we have this law that covers public access, the Telecommunications Act of 1939, as amended, and you have to put a certain amount of programming on public access. And you have to, anybody who's a resident can come in and start submitting programming for your channel. So that means you have to deal with it. And you have to deal with it. The administrative costs, the compliance costs, you get to a certain point, you have to have new hardware, a new server. It's a whole thing. That's
So
their...
the individual towns would pay for their own hardware and their own...
No. There would be an initial grant as proposed, and you could use that grant any way you wanted to use it. Some towns don't use their grant at all for anything. They put the money in their general fund. They put their franchise fee in the general fund. You could do whatever you want with this money. And other towns that really support public access and know that if public access doesn't do it, they have to do it. And everything that goes with that. There's a lot more than just putting the meetings on the TV.
So this would be MetroCast, not public access?
That's correct. MetroCast is proposing that we sign an agreement that says they give us $5,000. And we can do whatever we want with that money, but then we have to be responsible for providing the public access.
So are they just trying to knuckle
Yes.
public access out the door?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my take on it.
Wow.
But see, we have a consortium guy, but we don't have an LRPA guy. We do. I'm the treasurer of the organization, but because we're not a member town, it's a sorted thing. LRPA going forward is trying to develop a new business model. We seem to think after a lot, there was discussion, do we have anything to offer going forward? And knowing that how much it costs to provide public access and that it must be provided by law, if we adjust our rates and make it feasible for everybody to participate at a reasonable cost, less than that they would pay themselves, because those towns that don't participate now, as soon as they sign that contract and become responsible for the Telecommunications Act of 1939 as amended, they're compelled to use it and put their people's shows on and all of the things that go with that. And there's a certain amount of probing. You can't turn on the TV and have a test pattern. You have to have something. Doesn't have to be originated in town or whatever, but you have to run a TV station. So I think LRPA with a new business model, a different business model, it might be feasible, because governmental meetings, we all are aware, and all the consortium towns are aware, and LRPA is aware, is not the future of LRPA. Maybe we can provide a server platform or something for storage of these things, but that's a small part of what we could do going forward.
Right.
I will keep you apprised as
Sounds
we...
like something the school district ought to do.
And you know what? The school district might be a partner in something like that and use it. We could partner up with them and do and as could all of the member towns. Well, Samington's not a member on any level, but the other towns here in the district, Northfield, we could get together and maybe do the educational part of it, or whatever. I don't know, but going forward, you'll be hearing different things.
I think it would be an exciting thing going.
It's certainly different that we're reinventing public access, and we're trying to get more public in public access. I would love to do a cooking show. I've got Uncle Joe's Kitchen, the first two things written. I've taught cooking classes. I got my Uncle
love
Joe,
to
my
see that.
nephew Joey is going to be my assistant, and we're going to do like a nutrition kid thing, how to use a knife, sanitation. I can't because we're not a member town. Ain't that something?
Yeah, that is
But
something.
I would like to, but that's the way it's set up now. I would like to get more public and public access
And it's $7,000 for us to become a member town.
well, the way it was, and that was unrealistic. It just was, and we've lost a lot of towns in LRPA. That's what it costs to provide the service they do. But do you realize that Jane will submit her tape of the spring planting down at Island Park? Well, she submits the tape. Now LRPA has to work 15 hours to edit it and adjust the sound and get it to a point where Jane approves it. All of a sudden, you're talking about $200 or $300. It's that Alden woman spending your tax money. That's a joke, Jane. But no, that's the thing, and we spend half our budget on giving away services. I was stunned.
You can do a show on safety in the shop.
The senior center, the
Selectmen with
renovation-
no brain.
the renovations at the senior center, getting people
Thanks.
involved in that. We've been trying to get the
appreciate that one.
Transportation Advisory Committee to become more involved in getting the bus scheduling up there and doing a bus program.
Right.
Susan Jutras from the CAP in Concord just did a forum on the volunteer rider program, which I have some information for you on that, how that's coming and with regard to how it's going to work. And, the 5310 grant money is available. Right now, you can apply for reimbursements. And you're kind of like under the wire a little bit because there's no standards in place, onerous standards that you have to jump through this hoop or that hoop.
That's getting reimbursed for driving
Seniors around.
elderly.
And you know what? They're not going to limit it to seniors. You have to have a
Disabled.
recognized disability, but if you were blind and you were accepted, by the chat committee, let's say, and given a ride, you could apply to have that ride reimbursed even though they weren't over the age of 65 necessarily.
Right, disabled, right.
Yeah. So the transportation is moving right along. There won't, in my lifetime, I don't expect to ever see a real bus run through Tilton. It's sad, but it's a catch-22, as I was explaining to Sandy.
I do,
You think they will?
sure.
No.
Senior bus?
Oh, no. I said a regular bus.
Oh, a
A
regular.
regular bus.
No.
Anybody can get on.
That
A
anybody can get on.
senior bus,
They have a
absolutely.
You mean that doesn't go north and south?
Well, you can connect at the Exxon up
Right.
here and catch a bus to Plymouth or whatever.
Or
But
south?
the thing is that because of the lower ridership, where we don't meet the threshold to get bigger funding, but without bigger funding for more things like signs for bus stops and whatever, we won't get the ridership. So even though every ride costs us money, every single one doesn't pay for itself, they won't give us enough money to help us become self-sufficient. It's catch-22, which is sad. The senior buses and the volunteer ride programs are filling a need I didn't even know existed to the level that it does.
Yep.
It's absolutely amazing to me how many people rely and depend on this kind of a service for their everything. And for me, it's sad, but it's also very enlightening, and I'm glad too, because people are jumping into that gap, whether it's the volunteers or even the government, Department of Transportation, to provide at least some sort of funding for this. They could just say, sorry about your bad luck, but they don't. Especially with some of the legislators we have now who, sorry about your bad luck, is tattooed on the inside of their palm, just in case they forget. You know some of those people, Catherine, I know you do.
I do.
In any case, I've talked long enough, but I had 3 weeks to talk for, so there you go. I'm going to the Masters, Chuck. I told him in person, too. He says, I've heard you were talking to me on the camera from the Selectmen's meeting. It's like, oh, yeah, I certainly have.
I just have a question. Number 6 on Tim's report, is our Conservation Commission purchasing more property?
The Highland Ave, up off the Highland Ave, that piece next to that property. Remember, they came in a couple weeks ago.
That little sliver?
Oh, up on the corner?
That piece.
Did the selectmen approve it?
No, of course not. No,
Doesn't the,
there's
I
nothing
remember
here.
us mentioning it to him that it was...
Right.
We said you might want to take a look at this and let us know, but next thing we know, we have a purchase and sale agreement.
I actually don't know if we have to
I don't think
approve it
they
or not.
need our permission
I
to
don't know.
spend their monies that they have from the Land Use Change Tax
Well,
for
I
property.
think the permission becomes more town property to maintain. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. Joyce, does the Board of Selectmen approve purchases made by the Conservation Commission? I didn't, okay,
Because it's their own money.
right. I didn't know if it was because they're going to add more property to the town's responsibility to maintain from that side of it. See what I mean? But if the answer is no, then it's redundant, it's no.
I think I read something that they don't have
And
to,
that's why we put that in there,
so we'd know.
keep you informed.
They never did ask us
Do we know
about
how much?
Ernie's Park.
29,900.
How much?
29,900.
Well, that's a deal.
The property's worthless.
Didn't say a
It's
good deal.
useless.
Where's this piece?
The
Right at the
asking,
top of Highland Street. It goes up the hill from the bridge,
that's what Tim told us.
right there on the corner.
Was
And
the
it
asking.
abuts Buffalo Park.
Take a deal.
It's the last buildable house lot in that whole area. And now we're gonna have it. More
I don't
green
know the
space.
details.
Okay. That was it. That was my question. Thank you.
That's it?
Yep.
All right. All right. I have the Grange opening. We've rescheduled the date to May 10th at 1:30, not 1, because Councilman Ray Burton, who I really would love to be there, cannot be there till 1:30. The governor will be here.
The governor? Of New Hampshire.
I told him I wouldn't accept no,
Outstanding.
You said 1:30?
1:30.
On the
That is on a Thursday, so I'm hoping that we can either delay the selectmen's meeting till later or have the selectmen's meeting during that week
So why don't you just
to a different night.
right there?
I would love to have it at the Grange, if that could work out at all.
After everybody leaves, we'll have the selectmen's meeting, okay.
Well, no, they don't have to leave.
Not having a selectmen's meeting, excuse me, Governor, but we're having a selectmen's meeting now.
After he leaves, yeah.
Okay.
I don't expect him to stick around for 3
Do
hours.
you really want to have a meeting while you're watching everybody else party? I don't think so.
Oh, no, the party's over, but if you would like to stay for the meeting, please. I would love to have
If
the
the event is at 1:30, well, I suppose it's a stretch that people would still be there at 4:30.
It would be a stretch.
and
Just because the governor's going to be there doesn't mean he's going to be there for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, see, well, he'll be there for a few minutes. I know the governor enough to know he'll be there for a few
And
minutes.
there'll be delicious
At
cookies.
least until the pictures are taken.
Yes.
So,
And the
there's going to be a sweet menu that day.
We're asking for donations and sweets, Joe.
Okay, well, I would love to make the Grange cake. We do have a baker on the chat committee who may or may not already have a plan in their head.
Haven't heard one, but
And I don't want to preclude anything that they might want to do, but you let me know.
Okay.
Because I would love to make the cake.
In the shape of the Grange.
And, no, I was thinking about using the color scheme that used to be there. Including that brown, I'll put up the thing and the two doors or whatever, and it'll be greenish whatever and yellow, and it'll have a brown spot
You're gonna
of
drizzle
chocolate.
brown.
Drizzle brown down the front.
Don't-
Welcome to the new and improved.
Don't forget the concrete-filled safe.
No, that's out in the hallway. But I have ideas. In any case, let me know how that plays out. I'll be back way before then.
I think
The,
we should do it out the squirrel poop.
The chocolate drizzle, that was a classic.
speaking of chocolate drizzle, Tom was in the main hall. Of course, you know that the floor has now been really nicely refinished, and all of the furniture has been moved into the kitchen in the office way, in the hallway, and he was showing the painter, I believe it was, right? The painter who did a beautiful, beautiful job on painting the main hall, and so that red and yellow and chartreuse
And
teal
brown.
color cornice is gone. It's a beautifully nice, soft blue, white. While he was showing the painter that, a squirrel ran across the floor.
How'd it get in?
They have teeth.
Came in through that back door that didn't have an alarm on it.
Yeah, there
We
you go.
pay Terminex, and then we have a 2-year warranty, so I think we should at least call them and let
Please.
them know that while we were in the building, a squirrel appeared.
We were attacked.
You back? Rich?
Nope. Nope.
No. Oh, my goodness, no.
No, because you've seen him there. There's more than one. They travel in gangs,
Yeah, yeah.
and you know they're destroying
Oh, yeah.
that building. Right now, there are teeth at work,
Yes.
numerous sets.
Well, we have a lot of poison and whatever they're using. I'm not necessarily poisons.
It's
but-
poison.
Is it poison? Okay, and glue
Hardcore
strips and
poison.
whatever.
Well, when
So
was the last time it was baited?
they come on a regular basis.
Yes, every 3 months they're supposed to come.
Oh, we're probably at the end of a 3-month cycle.
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
So we need to
They
get in
may
touch
have
with them and let them know that while we were in the building, now the one possible, remote possibility could be when the vent covers were up when they sanded the floor. That could be a remote possibility. There are vent covers up there
How
now.
did they get into the system, though? It's usually a closed system.
Oh, it's not a used system anymore, so it's vented off. It's closed off, so that system is not used anymore because we have central
Well,
air.
maybe we should explore, at least for the summertime, getting on a monthly rotation. I know that there's at least one pest company that does monthly, weekly, whatever it takes to get them out and then guarantee to keep them out.
Well, we have a 2-year guarantee.
Yeah, well, it's not working.
Well, we don't,
He was supposed to come up and he was supposed to call you to verify that he was there.
right,
Well, then maybe he's taking care of it.
Well, no, because he should have called Pat.
right, and he did not call me. He did not call me, so,
I read it.
that, right, so that is definitely on our list. The other thing, let's go back to Mango, because I want to read Tom's email to Joyce, which I inadvertently thought it was my email when it was signed in on.
Joyce's email.
That was a mess.
Not you, that's
Okay.
interpretation, that's not technical.
So Tom says, "I looked at it and I would not dispute that any of the items listed were not done."
Volunteer right approval. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, I looked at it, and I would not dispute that any of the items listed were not done. However, I am shocked that Scott would have even sent an invoice. He indicated to Pat that the work should have been done by a tech earlier when the balance of the finish was done. Scott tried unsuccessfully to install the sensor on the back door one afternoon when Pat was there with him. He drilled into the casing of an electrical wire and blew out a circuit. Upon telling the electrician, he said, "We certainly can't just leave it that way." So Matt and Wayne went up and cut out a piece of the ceiling so that the electrician could access the wire, which had been drilled into, and replace the same. Mango went up when the ceiling was open and hooked up the door sensor. Now we need to go back in and patch the ceiling approximately 20 by 20 in mud and tape, patch, and repaint the same. I can most certainly assure you that the back charge against Mango for my guys, electrician and painter, will far exceed the bill in question. Mango is a subcontractor of the town, not my sub, and therefore a bill will be tendered to the town for the associated costs, and they can settle up with Mango in whatever method they agree on. I certainly would start with offsetting this invoice. And then he says, Pat is familiar with the entire situation. You might also want to speak with her. So
That's too bad.
I think that we still should continue to put the bill on hold and perhaps either call him, Joyce, or
Just let them know what's...
I can call him with you, whatever. But we should do that. Now, town meeting, the chief is preparing some numbers for me, and it's going to be just a few sentences that will allow me to give to the townspeople what we've done, what the police department has done in 2011, and what they have done so far in 2012, just to give you a kind of a snapshot view of what we've accomplished in the last year and a half, which I really think that the townspeople should see it all in one time.
They should know what
It's a
they're getting
phenomenal-
for their money.
It's a
doing
phenomenal
great,
thing that
yeah.
they've done.
I shudder to think, if we didn't have the level of expertise and professionalism that we have, what would be going on behind our backs here in Tilton?
Well, just look at the towns surrounding us, and then you'll know.
I understand. I understand.
Is everybody prepared for for Saturday, what we're bringing and what we need to speak on and everything that we need to do?
Bringing?
The budget, anything with the budget that anybody needs to?
Am I supposed to bring anything from a selectman's standpoint, other than my the 2 warrant article things?
Generally, we try to bring as much of the notes that we have that we've
I'll have all
put
that,
together
certainly.
for the budget portion of it, because there'll be questions about the budget. Also, any related information that you have to a particular article as
So if
well.
somebody wanted, oh, okay, I see, yep. I get it.
So we should bring that as well. We should, okay. I'll be working on that tomorrow here for me, because I've got to sort through stuff. I'm not taking everything in my bag. I've got to sit down and sort through it all. Okay. We talked about the safe. Catherine, what is going on with 307 Main Street? Is we doing any progress in that direction, or?
We have to wait for the planning board to approve the driveway permit ordinance, or, well, not approve. The draft is going to be submitted to them. Gus has it. They'll look at it, and then they will alter, change, leave it alone, whatever they want to do to it. then that should be sent to Dennis. If they make changes to it, that needs to go back to Dennis. Once it's finally approved by them. My understanding is they're not going to bother with the public hearing at their next meeting. So that will delay it, because their public hearing will be next month.
Okay, but do you want to update the rest of the board as to the communication with Bill Lambert, that portion?
It's probably a non-public at this
Gotcha.
point.
Got it. All right. We can do that. All right. Sandy, do you have anything for us?
Yes. You'll notice that I gave everybody a packet of 4 job descriptions. 2 of these for the highway were done because of, I don't want to say complaints, but just suggestions that the titles were not correct, and different people were using different titles. So I got together with Joyce, and we updated their job descriptions. The one, if you'll recall, we gave Dennis to come in and talk to us and ask that he be able to supervise men in the field. And in order to have a distinction, we now have an operations foreman and a shop foreman, which would take care of that. Dennis did go over both of these, and he was in complete approval of these job descriptions. The other 2 are for the building inspector and health officer. Basically, the job description that was there was left there. We only added a little bit. We went on the assumption that if someone comes in from the public, we want them to know that we do have these things on file and that we're treating it very seriously, that these are not just selectmen jobs, that these are part-time jobs with the town, and these are the job descriptions for them. And this way, it keeps selectmen and employees separate. It was also suggested when we had our meeting, and a few people came in and offered their part of the conversation, that when we do selectmen reports, like with yourself and of course with Al, that you don't mix selectmen reports with whatever your job is. That we will have a time that you as health officer can tell us what, how things are, your report on health officer. And then your selectman would be the things you do as a selectman. I know in your particular case, you're doing both. But like you said, we have to look at this as not you, it's an individual job that we have with the town. So anyway, these are the updated job descriptions that we came up with. Catherine, if you want to see what the difference in yours is, if you look on page, oh, it would help if I had the right one. If you look on the back of the first page here, at the end of where you had, drinking water, and then it begins on the 3rd page, this is what was added. Keep the town administrator advised of any actions requiring attorney services or other unusual problem, maintains written reports on all cases, inspections and re-inspections, prepares an annual inspection schedule to be reviewed by the Board of Selectmen, provide written monthly reports to the Board of Selectmen on the number of cases, violations, progress, problems concerning or outcomes so that the Board of Selectmen are kept informed of the level of activity in the town. Notify applicant or violator of compliance or non-compliance with written reasons for non-compliance, and make recommendations for changes needed concerning an ordinance and/or propose new ordinances that would assist in carrying out the duties of the position, and establish good working relationships with other town departments, other public or outside agencies, and town residents while enforcing all applicable laws and ordinances. This part you're doing already anyway. You do keep us informed. You have your reports and stuff like that. We felt it was important to be here as far as the having some kind of a schedule. That way, if we get complaints to the town that the town's picking on me, they keep coming back and they're doing this and they're doing that, we can show by the schedules that you're keeping and stuff.
I have to tell you, it'd be impossible to prepare an annual inspection schedule.
I'm just going to have that same question.
How about an inspection report, how many you've done and what kind
Oh,
of
that I can do,
violation?
that's easy.
Yeah.
But I couldn't prepare an annual inspection schedule because, like,
Don't-
Monday, I've got 2 inspections to do I didn't know I was going to do until I got the phone calls.
Yeah.
Which is most of it. I can
about the
prepare an
ones-
annual inspection schedule as it pertains to things we may develop in the future.
Yes, proactively.
Right.
Proactively.
That I can.
That's what it's
Being
So
pertaining
we may
to.
want to take this out and amend it,
Well,
once
that
we
can-
have that. But we're not going to approve these tonight, right? We're going to read these and approve them next week? Because some of this
Yeah.
wording has to change because of the RSAs are specific to some of this.
What about the minimum qualifications?
That wasn't changed.
It says, "or any equivalent combination of education and experience which demonstrates possessions of the required knowledge, skills, and abilities." And I've gone to every health
As long
officer.
as you possess the required knowledge, how you got it is neither here nor there. And quite frankly, a bachelor's degree in public health is no guarantee that you're going to get somebody who knows what they're doing.
No, but I've taken the training.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm,
Sandy does
So this
that.
kind of just puts these 4,
Give copies of these to Al.
Not yet.
He can have one.
Okay.
are these, actually,
really
these
change.
4, you make the
I don't think we
necessary
did this.
corrections that we need to make per the RSAs that you feel that we need to
Yeah, I
make on yours. But these 4 will kind of zip up all of the
Right.
job descriptions, correct? They're all now,
God, Sandy, thank you.
over the
Nice
last 3
job.
years,
That's
we've
my part.
This is good.
updated all of them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There, all the signed ones, now, we will be, over the course of this year, updating everybody's job description.
Right.
Didn't we just do that last year?
We did.
Couple years
them,
ago.
Yeah. Well, some were, we changed a couple of them last year, and then.
Right, we
were
added
all
to
done
it.
the year before.
We added to them.
Yeah, so we
Like, for
added some
instance, I
last
mean,
year.
Joyce and Tim have nothing in their job
I'm just
descriptions
looking
for
at Sandy
town
thinking
reports.
all the stuff she already does, and now we're going to make her do this.
So, but anyway, so you have them now, and if you,
Building inspector. Remember, we tweaked the building inspector.
yes. We.
You
yeah,
tweaked the building
I have-
inspector?
We'll give him one tomorrow
did?
to look at.
Oh,
So,
I have a question. Under what they do,
which one are you on?
page 2, top, right at the very tippy top, zoning and, building and zoning.
Building and zoning?
building and code
Code
enforcement.
enforcement then.
Building inspector.
Building inspector. Well, it says building inspector, zoning enforcement.
Yeah, okay.
Provide written monthly reports to the Board of Selectmen on progress. Now, we haven't been receiving monthly reports, or at least I haven't seen them. I have seen a couple in the last year, and I was wondering, you said that things hadn't changed in this description, so he's supposed to be giving us a written
Yes.
monthly report?
Yes.
No,
It said report regularly.
regularly,
I
right.
see, so twice a year is regular.
I
I think he was doing it quarterly.
Well, quarterly,
Oh, there you go.
yeah. He's
So
been
I've
doing,
seen 3, and I'm due a 4th, that's what it is. I was just curious, I think monthly is a good idea. I would love to be aware of how many building permits have been given out, and what kind of building activity is going on. It gives me a better sense of what's going on.
On this particular one, there was very little, what we tried to do is bring them, some of them into line with each other, you know, like with code enforcement, he deals with issues like you deal with issues, not health issues, but he deals with people the same way that you do, in enforcement, areas. So we tried to bring the job descriptions more in line with each other, recognizing, of course, that although they're similar, they're very different. So, anyway, read them over, and whatever changes you want, we'll talk about them next week, and we'll do them.
I just wanted to add that on the repairs schedule inspection, that's for when the town becomes
self-inspected.
Right.
Well, I suspected
Even so.
it did, and there's other things that have come up that would fall into that as well.
Right.
That's why I thought maybe an amendment later.
You know, so even if it becomes say we end up studying it and decide not to get into these inspections, then that's something certainly that could just be taken out.
Well, maybe initially we wouldn't, but I think going forward, we should
Well-
do our own inspection.
All
And maybe
ins-
a schedule is restaurants get it every 6 months. Hotels get it once a year, and
Right.
preschools every 3 months, whatever it is.
Well, schools are set by the state.
Yeah, well, so are restaurants, but they're abrogating their responsibilities, and who knows where they'll stop.
Yeah, I've already discovered that.
Joyce, our auction is the
Oh,
7th, did we say?
I wanted to tell you too, I had a talk with Heather, and she was fussing, apparently, she was notified by the state. They provide reimbursement for childcare to families that qualify, and apparently they're now going to be wanting this towns to take over that. So she was, she was saying when they called her to talk to her about it, that the town did not pay for childcare babysitting services.
What?
That this had always been done by the state of New Hampshire, and now they're kind of,
That's
Isn't there something about
unfunded mandate.
unfunded mandating? They can't make a law saying we gotta and then
Part
not
2,
fund
New
it.
Hampshire
there are
State
retirements.
Constitution.
No, it's
Yeah.
April 7th, right?
I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about chat.
No, it's April 7th.
I have a mailbox now, yeah, I just
so
got
anyway,
it.
that brings you up to date on what I know for,
Wanted $100
that I didn't
a
think you
year
knew.
for that post office box.
They won't let Helen have a mailbox.
All right.
Can't stop.
I think it's time to protest on State Hall.
Well, I read an article
All these
that was
unfunded
done
mandates.
by one of the politicians
it's
from
coming.
Concord, and it was saying that we are not doing unfunded mandate. If you read the Constitution, it says, "no new." And he said, these things that we're turning back to the towns are not new.
Oh, yeah, babysitting wasn't invented yesterday, so now it's on you.
And that's what you know where that came from, is the roads issue.
Yeah.
The roads issues, because they're saying, well, the roads used to belong to the town.
They are trying to jump through a loophole.
Yeah,
What,
they
in
are.
the 1810s or something? 200 years ago, maybe the roads were the towns. Come on.
But anyway, so
That's what
I
they love to
thought,
Well, in 1810, Tilton's roads were Sandburton, so let Sandburton maintain the road.
Ah, a loophole.
Ask them where the highway trust fund monies are going.
Did
Talk
you-
about loopholes.
Fill out your
Yes.
RSVP.
Elizabeth,
I have a I don't know if I have one.
Look in your folder there.
it was
Elizabeth,
in your,
It's in a larger one,
Forest
Joe.
Green.
I didn't see it.
here, it
Should
looks
be in
like
a-
this.
And an invitation from Tilton School.
Actually, I have one at home, but I didn't get one in.
A couple weeks ago, we got one, but we
RSVP
And this
card.
is
just got
inside-
this
Oh,
one.
I didn't even see that part of it. I got
Yeah,
it
it
at
was
home.
inside the envelope.
I'll send it in.
Okay.
I'll send it in.
Elizabeth.
I'll reserve like nobody's
Yeah,
business.
We need to reserve it. I'll go and give them to Catherine, she can put them in the morning.
May we get more than one copy when the new Knowing the Territory comes out?
Yes, please.
We each get a copy, typically.
You each got a
We each get a copy, typically.
Well,
And there's an office copy, I think.
Although, I know that I was missed last year because I'm sharing Dave's.
I don't think we got one last year. I
I
cannot
did.
find mine at all.
They may not have printed a new one last year.
No, it was the one that, when we went to our workshop, we got our copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I got it. But I think it might be the 210.
No, it's at home.
But we'll get you more. The new ones will be out.
The new ones haven't come out yet.
Okay.
I got one last fall because I got it when I came to one of the meetings when I was still on crutches.
I'd like one. Somehow, if I got one, it's disappeared from the desk.
Yeah.
And I've looked for it and looked for it and looked for it. Can you put the labels right on them?
2011 edition, so they had a new one last year.
There's one in my office, and I think there's still one in the selectmen's office. I'll just give it to you.
You have 2011?
I have 2000.
Can you bring that to town meeting?
I can, I will.
Yeah, that's where mine is. It's in my bag, my town meeting bag.
Okay.
I was gonna bring all the rest of the stuff, and that's the author's copy of that book. And I had it in my possession, because I was reading.
We should bring that to town
I'll
meeting.
bring that as well, if you want to hand it to me. Watch those fingers now.
Okay, we have an extremely short, quick, oh, you have one. I have a very short, quick,
Oh, I did.
very quick, non-public, super quick, non-public, which means I'm sorry, but you'll have to knit somewhere else. But continue to knit, please. Thank you. Yeah, I'd love one. This is hot. Thanks. So I will make a motion to enter into non-public as per RSA 91A:3,
Second.
the safety, public safety.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes.
We're red. And I would like to make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public meeting as they pertain to personnel.
They did not pertain to
Safety.
personnel.
Safety.
Safety, okay.
Second.
Safety permanently, and as they pertain to legal matters until such time as they might be resolved.
I'll still second.
Safety, excuse me, but safety would be
Until the matter's resolved.
also.
That's where I was headed with it, but people kept interrupting me.
Sorry.
I
to
said
second you.
personnel, but safety, okay.
I'm
till
going to
that's-
nitpick right to the end.
Yeah, all right then.
Seconded.
Okay, good enough.
Okay, all those in favor?
Yes.
I
Yes.
make a motion, we adjourn.
No.
No.
You have to make another.
Another
I'd like to
motion.
make a
Oh,
motion
that's right.
to approve an expenditure for the police department. You said I had to use those words.
That's, you're
Okay, I
right,
heard her gasping over here.
because she had forgot about it.
Oh, all right.
You're doing great.
I was thinking about something else. Sorry.
Gosh, I don't have the entire amount.
$75.
For in the amount of $275.
Second. Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to expend $275 for the Tilton Police Department. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
I would like to make a motion.
Oh, no, this honor is Norm's.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Second. Nice job, Norm.
Yes. Congratulations, Norm, you're a free man.
I got Saturday still.